Good evening. About to get it started here in just a sec. All right. It's really dark. It's kind of spooky. It's spooky season already. Anyway, give me just a minute as I get set up. I think we've got a couple people that are going to come on, some fans to come on. We do a debate panel. Hope everybody had a wonderful Thursday. I did not. But that's fine. We're here now. We're here now, and that's all that matters. Yo, what's good? About to get it started. Just making sure everything's up and running. You can hop in. You can already hop in the stream chat on Discord if you want to just wait in there. Contemplating if I should turn the feeling the vibe. Feeling the vibes. The chill vibes this evening. Want to keep it chill. Keep it low key. Or it's just because I'm lazy and I don't want to get up at this point. Look, this is a the word just escaped me. This is a judgment-free zone, okay? No judgment here. All right, I'm about to hop in. Let me make sure I got the... It looks like that midnight hour radio host in the dark. Hey there, cool kittens. Carol Baskin's up in here. All right, let me make sure I get the Discord going right. Hide you. Discord. There we go. All right, let's hop into it. I got my boy Broken up in the Discord. Let me swap it over. What's going on, buddy?
Not much, man. How are you?
Doing good. Hold on, I gotta fix the audio. It's really low on my end.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me know if it's
No, I think it was just me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I had to mute you because I forgot I was watching your screen and in the Discord at the same time. I'm like, why is there no?
No worries. So what's good? How was your day? You doing all right?
I'm doing really good. Essentially, I got kind of hounded by some other fan bases in the league about a post that I made. Yeah, so today I received my Nike Zoom Air Miami Dolphins edition shoes.
Oh, dope. You got a picture?
Yeah. Yeah, I posted on Twitter.
Oh, okay, hold on. I'll pull your Twitter up.
I think we're friends on Twitter. I'm pretty sure we are.
Yeah. Woo, they're fresh. Okay,
Yeah,
hold on. I'm gonna put it in on screen so people can see, so the people of the world can see.
So, if you check their, let me see if I can share it with you. Actually, I'll share the tweet with you, so then you can post that because that's really what you should read. It's kind of funny.
You have, because I have the tweet.
Yeah, but there's a response. Somebody reposted it.
Oh, they retweeted.
Without even tagging me and posted my picture, talking about Dolphins fans, and I got some DMs about it, and I just thought it was kind of funny. Give me 1 second. And it's this Kansas City fan that...
Bro, the Kansas City fans are so salty.
You have no idea.
They are sipping the copium. I mean, oof. They're big mad, dude.
Here we go. I'm going to put it in... Where do you want me to put it? In Discord?
You can put it wherever. You could tag me on Twitter. I have your Twitter open, so... If you want to just tag me in it, I'll get the notification.
I'm going to actually send it.
Oh, yeah. You can send it in Discord as well.
No, I'm going to send it to you in Twitter DM. Just give me 1 second.
Oh, okay.
Where you are, and click on that. So this is what the guy posted with my picture of my shoes.
Okay.
If you click on the whole thing, it opens up.
Yeah, I'm gonna. It's okay that I put it on the stream. You're okay with that?
Yeah, that's fine. I don't care.
Okay, cool. All right, here the shoes look fresh. They look fresh, dude.
I like them a lot. And you can't see it. Well, yeah, you can kind of see in the picture. The one shoe actually says Dolphins in the sole inside, and there's like a little mini Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, they look nice.
Yeah.
So this butthurt Kansas City fans, people getting way too excited for Tyreek Hill. They're acting like he's Patrick Mahomes or something and gonna win them a Super Bowl. Oof, he's so salty. Oh my gosh.
So
That's sad.
I posted a response. You go on my Twitter.
You quote tweeted him?
I quote tweeted him.
Nothing wrong with the passionate fans excited for their team and a new season while other fans sit in the mud. Good luck finding that replacement. Yikes. And no response. Obviously no response, right?
Yeah,
He's not going to respond to that.
Yeah, I just
Ooh.
thought it was funny. I thought it was funny. But some friends, I didn't even know that this guy posted my picture. And my friend goes, dude, did you take that picture or you lying that you got those shoes? It's like, no, I have it on my phone. This is my bed and everything. And he's like, someone's copying your picture. I was like, what are you talking about? So I had to start finding, because he didn't tag me in it. You know what I mean? He
Oh
didn't
my
like.
gosh, that's
I
crazy,
didn't even know
dude.
he posted it. That was funny.
Big mad. They're big mad. Hey, give me just a second here. I gotta step away, like 2 seconds.
No problem. I have to do the same. So I'll be right back.
Okay, perfect. I'm gonna put it on. Be right back. All right, we're back. All right, we're back here. Gee. We'll pick it up when Ali gets back. So big day. Big Miami sports day. We got Gesicki talking to the press for the first time. To his interview, his full sit down with the Miami Dolphins reporters. So I'm gonna put it just me. It's just you and me right now. The music is killing me. I love it. But yeah, when Ali gets back, we'll start it back up. But a lot of really good things out of the Mike Gesicki interview.
All right, sorry about
he's
that.
back. No worries, bud.
Anyway, so man, how are you doing? How's everything with you?
I'm doing all right, dude. I had a little kind of a rough day today, but could have been worse.
Well, I've had a rough week, to be honest. I found out, and it's kind of scary, but I'm trying to like be positive about it so I don't get upset. I found out half of my entire family has COVID.
That fucking sucks.
Yeah, like not even like my immediate family. I'm not talking about my immediate. We're all good. I've taken multiple tests to be sure.
Yeah.
But my sister and her whole family, and my mom and dad, and that's half of my family.
Yikes, that's rough, dude.
Yeah, really crazy. So my mom, to make things worse, she has MS, unfortunately. So
Oh,
I'll be spending the week probably going to pick up medication, doing whatever I can for her. You know,
that's
as
rough, dude. Sorry to hear that.
yeah,
But
it was crazy.
on the plus side, you know, COVID's becoming more and more treatable, you know, as the days pass. So they're so
Yeah, I
great at
mean,
treating it these days.
yeah, that's the good news. And she's vaccinated and everything as well, and had the booster and all that.
Good.
So, I mean, I'm that's the good side of it. Hopefully this is just like a bad cold for her. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it seems like with these new strains, that's been kind of the most of it for a lot of people. Just been a really bad cold. Thankfully.
Yeah, yeah, I understand. But I'm sorry you had a bad week. I didn't mean to take your thunder there about that.
Oh no. Look, nobody's got COVID over here, all right? My week could be a lot worse.
Oh
No, it's
yeah.
just busy, you know, with work and everything, and you know, that's why I like to come on in the evenings and just relax, put the relaxing music, and you know, have fun. Just let the worries and concerns of the day just slip away.
Yeah, but going back to the Finns talk about the Kansas City fans, yeah, they're
Oh yeah,
very
dude.
salty. And the New York Jets fans, I think, are the worst out of all of them.
Well, I mean, they're always the worst. It's just we never have, and as Dolphins fans, we have very few interactions with Chiefs fans, right? So this is the first connection really that has kind of made bridged that gap. And man, they're super salty. They're really mad. They're
Yeah,
very upset.
it is. I don't blame them because they don't have a viable replacement for Tyreek Hill. I mean,
Yeah.
Nicole Hardman was the closest thing that they had, I think, that they thought could be the replacement. But the last 2 years, he's kind of really not panned out. He's just your average wide receiver. I don't think he has the speed, over the top speed that Tyreek has. He doesn't have the ability to cut. Like, he's good in coverage from time to time, and yeah, he'll show up. He scores a touchdown here and there, but not like what Tyreek did for that team.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, they're, I mean, rightfully mad, right? He's the guy, right? I mean, next to Patrick Mahomes, like they're the two guys you think of when you think of Kansas City. So I haven't seen so many Chiefs fans being like this, like really. And the thing is that they're acting like they're not upset, right? Like they're like this guy that he said, like, oh, they think like they got Patrick Mahomes, like, because they have Patrick Mahomes, right? Man, they're so salty. It's like, look,
If you take away the Tyreek Hill stats from Patrick Mahomes, I think a friend of mine did it. If you go and take away all the stats that he got from Tyreek Hill, the stats that Mahomes has, he's just an average quarterback.
I wouldn't doubt
it.
it.
That would be a stat. I think my friend looked that up, but if you find that, I think he's just average. And the worst thing about it is that, yeah, with Kansas City, there was, besides Mahomes and Tyreek Hill, they have Travis Kelce, who I really appreciate.
Yeah, they still got Kelce. It's not like they don't have nobody, but
yeah, they don't have the same running game they used to. They used to have Kareem Hunt, and when Hunt was in that running game, I really thought he was unstoppable.
Yeah, their skill position players look a lot more like Miami's skill position players did 2 years ago right now, which is not bode well for Patrick Mahomes, who's, you know, let's be honest, the last 2 years he's kind of struggled a little bit in the regular season. He hasn't looked like his typical dominating. So he's still great, right? He's still playing really well, but we're talking relative to his, you know, what we're used to seeing from him.
Oh yeah, I think he's trying for like the big play too much now. It seemed like a lot of times he was trying to go deep to make that big play, and it's just not there so much.
To try to make something happen.
Well, not just that, but like, if 2 years ago, before the loss to the Buccaneers, okay, the year they won the Super Bowl, it was like an instant play. Tyreek Hill down the sideline makes the post route. Instant touchdown, 90-yard play, 80-yard play, 70-yard touchdown, 60-yard.
Easy.
every time, easy money every time. They figured that out last year. All the defenses, or some of the defenses, including Miami, at one point made a comeback on them. Kind of figured them out, and since then they just haven't been the same.
Yeah, you're right. And I think what it is too is a lot of defenses are starting to just figure out how to stop these like crazy, passing games, right? Everybody's running too high safety. Everybody's investing so much into shutting down quarterbacks, and this is why, I've talked about in previous streams that I think this like QB centric era could be maybe starting to come to an end, or at least to maybe evolve into a different type of game, because the game always comes in phases, right? We had a really dominant run game, and then it went to a dominant pass game, and it kind of went back to a run game for a little bit, and then for the past 20 years it's really been pass dominated, right? A pass heavy NFL. But I really think that defenses now are putting so much emphasis on stopping the pass that teams are now going to be starting to look at how they can compete in other ways, right? Because not everybody can have an elite QB. So everybody's trying to just hang their hat on having an elite QB. But if you can find other ways to win on a consistent basis, that's going to separate you from the pack, right? And I think that's what Kyle Shanahan has kind of uncovered here. And you see it with the 49ers. You see it to a lesser extent with the Rams, right? And hopefully we're going to see that with Mike McDaniel. I think this Kyle Shanahan offense is going to be this next big wave of this zone blocking scheme, this West Coast style offense is going to really take over the league. This is just my prediction, but just because, again, NFL defenses are built to stop the pass. But when teams go to really heavy run games, you can see these defenses get exploited. You see the Titans do it too. The Titans aren't a really dominant team offensively, but they've got Derrick Henry, and they build that offense around him, and they can be really, really successful and not have an elite quarterback. Ryan Tannehill's good, but he's not by any means an elite quarterback.
No, he just found a system that worked well for him.
Exactly, and they're a perennial playoff team, as long as Derrick Henry's there. But it looks like the guy that they have to back him up, who ran all over us. Well, he left, didn't he? The backup in Tennessee.
Yeah, he went to Baltimore of all places. I was kind of sad because I'm not gonna lie, man. I thought all the teams would have gone after him. I would have gone after him, to be honest. I thought he was. I kind of liked him as a coming out of college, and I also, to be honest, I thought that he ran better than Derrick Henry. I'm actually surprised Tennessee let him go.
Yeah, he had success, right? When they needed him, they called his number, and he did it. But I guess maybe he was looking for more money now that he showed what he could do, and you can't pay two running backs too much money, I guess. But we'll see. Like I said, I think we're moving into a run-dominating phase in the NFL where teams with a great run game and an above-average quarterback, right? You can't have a trash quarterback. Like the 49ers with Jimmy Garoppolo are perennial Super Bowl contenders. Whether he's still there or not this year remains to be seen, but they're always in the hunt. The Rams, even before Matt Stafford, right, with Jared Goff. Jared Goff is not an elite quarterback. He's an above-average quarterback. But again, another team that's perennially Super Bowl contenders, even without Matthew Stafford. Of course, with Matthew Stafford, they are who they are. But I think when the margin of talent at the quarterbacks slims down like it has, right? Before you could pick out the top 2 or 3 best quarterbacks in the league, and then there was kind of everybody else. Now that top 3 is really broadened out to a top 5, even top 10, right? I think there's every team in the NFL who doesn't have an elite quarterback would take one of those top 10 quarterbacks and they'd have a really great quarterback. It's difficult to really compare them nowadays. which again is why I think we may see kind of a resurgence of the run game being super effective in the NFL. It's just
Yeah, I kind of think that teams hide their deficiencies. Like the top 10 quarterbacks, to be honest, I think teams hide those quarterbacks' deficiencies, to be honest. So I don't really think that. I mean, there's maybe 3 top elite quarterbacks in this league that I feel that are elite. Beyond that, I really don't think there's very many. I don't really consider Lamar Jackson elite, for example. I personally don't.
yeah, it's
think,
tough.
I think he can be elite in a certain system, but you put him in a different system, I don't think he meshes well. That's just my opinion. Just my opinion.
What do you think about the rumors of him maybe coming to Miami next year if things don't work out with Tua?
Okay, so you know how we have all these rumors about Tom Brady that I'm starting to get sick of, to be honest?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, and the Sean Payton, Tom Brady connection.
Well, that was a real thing that Miami was considering, but it just didn't work out with all the lawsuits and everything. But here's the thing, though. I personally don't want Tom Brady here because I feel if we sign Tom Brady, we're really just putting ourselves that much more behind in really developing a QB for the long term. Okay, that's my opinion. Now, Lamar Jackson, he's still very young. Okay, he also is the type of player that honestly, between you and I, would really benefit from a McDaniel system.
Yeah,
You know
I
what
agree.
I mean? I feel it fits him more so than anybody else. And if you put Tom Brady in this type of system, he might do okay, but I'm going to tell you right now, I don't feel he's going to have elite numbers if he comes and plays the system that we are. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe,
That's
but with
my
the
thing.
weapons we have, with Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Cedric Wilson.
Remember what McDaniel said when he got hired. Sometimes you have to change the system to better suit the player personnel you have.
Yeah,
He wouldn't be playing his system. He would be playing a different system under Tom Brady.
true.
And that's what I don't like. If we're gonna really focus on the run, let's actually go through and do it. Let's actually do the stuff that you said we're gonna do, instead of trying to keep reverting back to a generation that is gone. I'm sorry, the Patriot dynasty is over. People just need to get over it. You know what I mean? You're never gonna build a team like that ever again. You're never gonna build a generational dynasty like that ever again. Not anytime soon. Like, I'm not saying it won't ever happen again. It may happen again, but to be 100% honest, the Patriots just got lucky when picking up Tom Brady in the 7th round or 6th round, whatever.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, like, I mean, they'll say that Tom Brady was, or that Bill Belichick was a mastermind and went out of his way to find Tom Brady, but I don't know. Like, we really think that everybody passed on him a bunch of times. I mean, no, it's because Tom Brady was a winner, right? But there's been a lot of winners in college football that get to the NFL and they never pan out, right? Nobody expected Tom Brady to be as good as he was.
Yeah, Michigan's really not known for developing the QBs, to be honest, that work in the NFL too much. I mean, Jim Harbaugh, maybe. He was probably one of the last ones besides Tom Brady.
I mean, that's not saying much, right? I mean, if Jim Harbaugh is the best,
I don't really think he was elite. I mean, Brady was the only one I would say that's elite if you compare the two. So,
I mean, he was good enough, right? Well, yeah, if you're comparing him to Brady, that's a no-brainer. But yeah, there's not great company there. I think it's the draft. I think is 80% luck, 20% scouting. I think I think you give any average Joe a draft big board, right, with a bunch of the top players, and they're likely to pick out a couple gems out of there just out of sheer luck. It's just, I think a lot of it's luck, because you could say the complete opposite, right? How many guys have we seen go top half of the first round, right, even in top 10, and be absolute busts, right? Just be terrible in the NFL. It's really a matter of luck. That's why it's nice having a ton of picks, right? Ross looks really great drafting, because we had so many picks, and eventually some of them had to hit, right? Eventually you throw enough stuff on the wall and something's gonna stick. The draft is tough. So yeah, I don't think the Patriots knew what they were getting with Tom Brady when they drafted him.
Yeah, I don't think they really knew what they were, getting. And to be honest, the only reason he went in is because Bledsoe went down. That was the only reason. There was no nothing was leaked out of the bag saying, "Oh, this guy's the best thing since white rice." You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
If
he was so good, he would have just taken the job from Bledsoe, right? He wasn't
right from the get-go. Yeah,
in
a playoff game, I think.
Yeah, in game, he didn't, or I'm sorry, in practice, he didn't look good enough to take Bledsoe's job because he just looks like Tom Brady. But there's something about Tom Brady that whenever he steps foot on the field, he turns into a different person. It happened. That's how it was in Michigan, and I mean that's how it was with the Patriots, right? He just turns it on. But that's what the best athletes in the world do. That's what the Michael Jordans and the Kobe Bryants of the world do. They turn it on at the right time. It's not necessarily being great all the time, just when it matters.
Yeah. But, I mean, here's a debate for you. You want to debate something. So we're talking about elite QBs, right? Do you find Russell Wilson to be elite?
As it stands, or his history?
Let's just say as it stands right now.
As it stands, Russell Wilson is an above average QB.
Above average, but not elite, right?
No, I'd say if we can use the TD Finstock barometer for elite quarterbacks, right? I think it's like below average, average, above average, very good, and then elite, right? I think he's above average to very good.
Here's my barometer right now. If you look at it, he won how many Super Bowls? One?
Super Bowl.
Say what?
Yeah, Super Bowl. One Super Bowl.
Yes, and the other one he lost.
Correct.
You look at what's his name?
And both those teams with elite defenses, right?
Okay, so you go to Mahomes, right? Mm-hmm. He's won a Super Bowl and hasn't won one since. Now,
yes,
I kind of like the progression that Mahomes has had over Russell Wilson, because Mahomes, he didn't start his whole first year. Second year he started because they finally let go of what's his name? God, he's not
Alex Smith.
Alex Smith, that's what I was thinking. Sorry. So they let go of him. He gets them to the playoffs, right? And I think they lost in the second game of the playoffs, the divisional round, I think it is. Whatever the round is after the wild card. They lost to the Patriots. It was a bad call, right? Second time he gets to the playoffs, takes them all the way to the Super Bowl, right? Wins the Super Bowl. Third time around, it just seems like there's progression. Getting
every year he comes back better than the previous.
Yeah. Now, here's the flip side, though. This past year, I didn't see that progression from Patrick Mahomes. I didn't see that at all. And if he doesn't progress this year, I don't really think he's elite anymore.
Well, what is progress, right? I mean, being the best quarterback in the league, there's only so much better you can get, right? Like Aaron Rodgers is only going to be the same or worse, right? I don't think we can ever expect Aaron Rodgers to be better.
If you're making back-to-back Super Bowls, you have to really show out and really show that you can win another. I mean, to be honest,
sure.
I had Kansas City beating the hell out of the Bucs. How that happened, I don't know. I mean, I felt like the whole game was off for Patrick Mahomes. And I didn't see who did they lose to in the championship game? Who was it?
This year?
Yeah. It was the Bengals,
wasn't
right?
it the Bengals? Yeah, Joe Burrow. Well, let's be honest. It was the Bengals defense that won that game.
Yeah, I mean that might be true, but still, I mean, the Bengals defense versus Mahomes. Come on, man.
Yeah, I mean, they held. I mean, they held him to what? Like, let me pull it up. They held him to like almost nothing. Relative to the Chiefs, right? Because it was 31 to 34, right? And the defense and the let's be honest, the Chiefs had a couple opportunities to ice that game. They had a chance to put that game away, and the Bengals defense put their neck on their throat of the Chiefs and just stopped them. It was really impressive what the defense did, but Joe Burrow didn't look exceptional in that game.
I gotcha.
I have a lot of back and forth with fans on Twitter about that game.
I kind of feel like Mahomes fell asleep on that game personally. After winning the Buffalo game, I think he went to bed. This is my own opinion.
Yeah.
Give me 2 seconds. I gotta take care of my kid real quick, and I'll be right back. Okay.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you.
I will take the opportunity to see if we get anybody else up in here. Man, I'm tired. I just had coffee, but I'm tired. It's been a long day. Let's see. Did I post? Yeah, I did. I guess I'll take the opportunity to say, if you are not in the Discord, I'm going to put the link in the chat. Get up in here. We're going to be doing debate panels like this all the time. I want this to be a fun, safe place for Dolphins fans to kind of hang out and have conversations and not be berated by crazy people. Just hang out. Just hang out. Take it easy. Take a seat. Because the mainstream media, man, they don't treat the Dolphins right. We get handed the crap end of the stick most times in the mainstream media. They don't like to talk about us. Even recently, like, they were talking on ESPN the biggest moves of the offseason, and they had the audacity to say the Chiefs losing Tyreek Hill instead of the Dolphins, trading for Tyreek Hill. It was the Chiefs losing. They didn't lose nobody. They traded that man. It's crazy, dude. It's crazy. So that's why spaces like this are so important, where we can talk about the news in an unbiased, well, in a relatively unbiased way, right? We're all fans at the end of the day. But, I want this to be a place for us. A place where we can, actually have meaningful conversations. Anywho. Ooh, color commentary is live on YouTube. Maybe we have to stop over there and chill with some of those guys. So, hold on.
All right, I'm back. Sorry about that.
Hey, no worries.
Yeah, my kid hits the time we can get him down usually and
Yeah,
changes diaper unexpectedly.
an unexpected diaper change.
Oh yeah, you know how it goes, man. All right, I
Look,
don't know if you have children. But
I
yeah.
paid my dues, dude. I already did that. My kids don't got no diapers no more.
That's awesome. This is my last kid. You know,
Okay.
he just turned 1. He's gonna be 2 next year. So
All right.
we're
You
getting
so
there.
you're almost there.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's
mean,
nothing like the first day that you realize that you don't have to buy diapers. Like you use the last diaper, and it's like, whoa, that's it. I don't need this no more. It's a great feeling.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
Yeah, but now I have worse things. Now I have to buy like book fair stuff.
I found out I have to pay for braces for my oldest.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You got insurance?
Yeah, I definitely have
Okay.
insurance.
All right.
But
I'm thankful.
it's still expensive, even with the insurance.
Of
it's
course.
still pretty
Of
up there.
course. This is America, right?
Oh yeah. Anyway, so we were talking about Patrick Mahomes. So
Yes.
I feel that he went to bed after that game. Like it took a lot out of him to the point where he just in that. If you go back to that Bengals game, I don't feel like he was elite like he was in that game.
Yeah. He
Yeah,
did. He kind of
now-
laid down a little bit.
Yeah, and I feel if he doesn't come back this year to show that no, I'm still that elite guy, I'm gonna start questioning his eliteness. That's what I was getting at. You know what I mean?
I feel
Brady
you.
Brady was good every year. I mean, defenses really had to beat him to really beat him,
Yeah.
and it just seems like the last 2 years I haven't seen the eliteness that I did the year he won that Super Bowl. Because Patrick Mahomes, he took that game by the horns and owned it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
When he won the Super Bowl. So that's what I want to see like every time from him. If we're gonna call him the next version of a Brady, if you want to call it that, because everyone says he's like the best quarterback in the league. Now I'm starting to question it. Is he really the best quarterback in the league? In addition, I still have my questions about Allen, man.
I mean, I don't blame you there. I think Allen might have kind of a down year this year, to be honest. I mean, he's got Diggs back, right? So that's big. But
if they don't show up this year and actually get to the big game, their window of opportunity is over. They're gonna have to start trading players or releasing players to start over again.
You know, I would have thought that this was the year that they kind of try to like go for it all, right? But it looks like, you know, in free agency, they re-signed Stephon Diggs, which is good. But, you know, what else have the Bills done this offseason to really move the needle?
What was their cap space like? I don't even think their cap was very good, actually, to be honest.
But you know, you can look at what the freaking Saints did. If you ever needed an explanation of how the cap means absolutely nothing, go look at what the Saints did this offseason. I think they cleared like $70 million in cap space without releasing a single player.
And you're absolutely right, but do understand that's like a refinance on your mortgage.
Of course.
You're still gonna have to pay it back regardless. So they just bought a couple much more time to pay for it. That's all they did. Let's see, where are the Bills here? I'm looking at Sportac right now.
I was just pulling it up too.
They're 21st. They're in the negative, I think. Yeah, they're in the negative.
Yeah, looks like it. $3 million in the negative.
Yeah, 3.7 mil. That's what they're in the negative. Yeah, I don't really.
Is Josh Allen still on his rookie deal?
Yeah, he's still on his rookie. I think this is like his last year on it. I think.
I'm surprised they haven't paid it. They got to pay him too. That's the other thing.
They already did.
They did?
They already re-signed him. He's still on his rookie deal, but.
Oh, I see. Yes.
Yeah, he was the second person. Remember, Mahomes got that 10-year deal.
Yes.
And I think Allen got like a 6-year deal or something like
Yep,
that.
6-year, 258 mil.
Mm-hmm.
And how much? It's 150 million guaranteed.
Ridiculous.
Sheesh.
How much did Watson get? He got 150 mil guaranteed as well?
No, Deshaun Watson's was fully guaranteed.
The whole thing?
Fully guaranteed.
Jeez. That's the only reason you go to Cleveland.
That's exactly why he went to Cleveland.
I respect Cleveland Browns fans, and I'm from Ohio, and I respect what the Browns mean to Ohio and everything. But holy crap.
$230 million, 5 years, fully guaranteed. 100%. $230 million guaranteed. And a $44 million signing bonus. It's fucking crazy. That's nuts. I mean, if he comes and balls out right away, I mean, I guess it's worth it, right? He had a year break, so he's 20. He's only 26, right? But really, in football years, he's only 25. So, look, I'll be honest. When the trade rumors were happening, I was in on Deshaun Watson, assuming everything clears, right? Assuming he could clear, he cleared his name. There was no criminal charges. I was in on Deshaun Watson, but looking at that number, I don't know if I could swallow that number, right? We obviously
not much coming to Miami because
he wouldn't have taken
state taxes, and two, I mean, not saying that's a lot, but it does add up quite a bit, especially in Ohio. I know what their state taxes are; they're pretty up there. So,
well, it's crazy. His base salary this year is $1 million, right? So, like, if he serves any kind of crazy suspension or something, he
only loses $1 million.
Yeah, which is so crazy. They really made they went out of their way to get Deshaun Watson. I mean, I guess rightfully so, right? They feel like they have a team that can compete. Then you do what you gotta do to get Deshaun Watson. But that's what I was saying for the Dolphins.
Let's go down the rabbit hole with these owners, though. Okay. So I believe the Cleveland Browns owner is it's the Haslam family, I believe. Let me actually verify that. Pretty sure it's the Haslam family that owns them. Let's see here. Yeah, it's Jim Haslam and Dee Haslam. They own actually I don't know if it's Jimmy Haslam. He owns the Cleveland Browns, right? They're one of the people that there's rumors that they have also paid to tank. Just so you know.
Oh yeah, with what's his name?
The former
the coach?
You know what I'm talking about. He got like a 1 year and done. He was only there for like a year.
Wasn't it Hugh Jackson?
Hugh Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah. So supposedly he came out and said, but then retook what he said. He recanted. So
he did.
I think it's because he knew he was going to get in trouble in addition to it.
Ooh.
That's what I think. Because if you take the money, then you're indicting yourself.
I guess.
So I think that was part of it. But the other thing is they have also been known for other things as well, not just the Cleveland Browns and the shenanigans that they pull off there. They're let's just say they don't have the best of reputation, right? Let's look at Washington Commanders owners. Now that team that owns the Washington Commanders is long overdue from having their team stripped. Long overdue. Now, the most recent thing, as you may have already heard, is that they're having a congressional hearing because of the fact that it's been reported that they have taken season ticket owner deposits and hid that money.
What?
They basically pocketed the money without reporting it.
Yikes. Right? What are these people thinking, dude?
So that's just icing on the cake. Let's talk about all the other shenanigans that they've done over the years. That's like, I'm surprised that this owner is still in business. I do not know how he is, because did you hear what they did to their cheerleaders?
Yeah. The whole
Mexico trip, and it was supposed to be a photo opportunity, and it ended up being like, hey,
a private photo opportunity.
Yeah, or just be half naked around these men for us, okay? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It was ridiculous, right? So you
Yeah.
got all that, and they didn't even get a slap on the hand, right?
Nothing came of that,
Um,
dude. I mean,
Nothing.
he basically went into hiding, and that's it.
Yeah, so there's that. Then they also had the issue with I forget who it was. It was an offensive tackle, I believe. Big time offensive tackle. And I want to say it's Trent Williams or somebody. He had like cancer or something or some health issue
Mm.
really bad, and they were basically hiding it or not caring enough for him to take care of it or something. I forget what it was exactly, but it was regarding some health issue.
That's nuts.
And yeah, dude, and it's like crazy. I'm like, dude, you have all these black eyes on your organization. Why are you doing this? It doesn't even financially make sense. So,
How are they
that
still in
ownership needs,
business?
yeah, that ownership needs to go. It's really bad.
It's like, oh,
Um,
we'll change the name. We'll change the name, and you distract everybody from all the nonsense, and maybe that'll work. That's exactly why they decided to finally change the name.
yeah, I kind of think they finally are like, okay, we're not going to fight this anymore. Let's just do it because it'll take away the narrative. Now, here's the big thing. Have you heard of any issues or any news about the Ross investigation lately? Be honest.
Have I heard? No, I haven't heard more than.
Exactly. You haven't heard anything,
No.
right? There's been nothing. The whole issue with that is because one, the Washington Commanders are taking the lead on the newspaper now because of the whole Congress being involved, right?
Mm-hmm.
Two, and you may have saw this on the Finn's tailgate last night because El Capitan was talking about it a lot. That basically Ross has put himself in a position where he makes the league and casinos like the Hard Rock and other organizations that are involved in betting and other things tons and tons of money. All right, people don't realize how much money Stephen Ross actually makes for the league. He makes billions of dollars, not just for the NFL, but all the companies that are involved in the NFL somehow. He makes them tons of money. Part of the reason that the NFL has certain TV contracts is because of Stephen Ross. Okay, so he's involved so much. That's why I told everybody from the get-go, don't be surprised if nothing happens to Stephen Ross. All right.
Yeah, they just kind of hide it, slide it under the rug.
Even if he decides to step away from the team, I guarantee you, like an Illuminati black hand, he's still gonna be controlling or being the puppeteer in the end.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that guy has massive money and he's smart. You might think that Stephen Ross is I've heard another YouTuber, and I'm sure you know who I'm talking about, calls him a Magoo. Do you know who I'm talking about? Yeah, Larry. He calls him a Magoo. I really don't think he's a Magoo. I think he may come off as a Magoo.
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
a lot smarter than what people think.
Yeah,
And right when you think you got 2 feet forward, you're really 3 feet behind. All right.
Yeah, I feel 100%.
That's my conspiracy with the ownership and the league, because you haven't heard shit. The last thing we heard was Flores complaining that the Miami Dolphins wanted to do an arbitration. All right. Well, all sports leagues, no matter what sport you're in, no matter where you are in the world, they go to arbitration. That's what they do. All right. That's common, no matter what sport, no matter what race you are, no matter what. So I'm not trying to get into that conversation. I do believe racism exists and it's wrong. I do agree with that. And it is kind of shitty, kind of how things played out for him in a sense.
For sure.
But at the same time, I think there was a different way of going about it. So it kind of puts you in a better position. You know what I mean? Because I understand what happened with the Bill Belichick kind of leaking it out to him in error. Let's just say if that really was an error, we won't ever know. But let's just say if it was,
it wasn't.
What New York Giants? Yeah, I don't think it was.
It wasn't.
I was trying to give benefit of doubt.
Nah, let's not do that. It
what
wasn't.
What the New York Giants did is kind of really screwed up, but their whole organization and how they do things are screwed up. You come out and tell your fan base, oh, we're not trading OBJ whatsoever. A week later, he's been traded to the Browns.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying. You know what I mean? Oh, we're going to keep him as our coach no matter what. I don't know what the problem is. A week later, oh, we're hiring Darby or whatever his name is from Buffalo. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was the other thing. Oh, we stand behind our quarterback no matter what. And I believe, if I heard things right, they were trying to get a certain QB. I don't know if it was Watson or who it was, but they actually tried to get him still. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
Yeah, that news kind of leaked out, but no one caught wind of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They do things really weird. And in addition, how they select their QBs, that's where I kind of feel that there is a leg to stand on the lawsuit with Flores.
100%. No, I think there's a few things in there that, well, and now they have additional names in there, right? There's some sketchy stuff, right? That if it does come, which let's put the canopy over this conversation, right? By saying none of this will ever be made public. This is gonna be done in private. It's gonna be handled with in private, just like everything the NFL does, and we'll never know.
We still don't know how much. God, what was his name? The quarterback of 49ers that started the healing movement. You know who I'm talking about?
Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah, we still don't know how much money he got. We know they settled. That got publicly made, but we still don't know how much money. And if he's not talking about it and it's not getting released, that means he got big time hush money.
Yes, 1,000,000,000%, dude. The NFL they don't play games, dude. They don't. And let's be honest too, right? The NFL can bankrupt a small attorney's office, right? That, like, these lawyers, the NFL could very quickly bankrupt these guys in litigation.
Let's be even more honest, because this is actually true. The NFL has so much money, not just as a league, but everybody that's involved, and everybody in all the ownership and all the ad power and everything, right? That they could bankrupt countries.
Oh, for sure.
That's not a joke. That's not a joke.
For sure.
And that alone right there tells you, like, people joke around to say that the NFL owns the whole day of the week being Sunday, right? That's not a joke. They really do. They make more money than anybody else during that time frame, and the money that they get per stadium, per ad, it's ridiculous. It's mind-blowing, to be honest. So you have to know, if you have that kind of money, they have the world's largest army of lawyers.
Exactly.
And in everything they do, no matter what it may be, they've had that world largest army of lawyers check everything out to make sure it's kosher. So that's why I really feel, as much as it may kind of look like they got their hand caught with the Dolphins and everything, I really feel that Stephen Ross has those lawyers checking to make sure that if this would actually be okay or not, if he did it before he did it. You know what I mean? I really feel. Now,
no, I agree.
The whole thing with him trying to set up a Brady, meeting, that, because we all know that's who the QB was, that at the yacht gate, if you want to call it. That right there, just be honest, every team does it. It's just because somebody called the Dolphins out. And that's the only reason why we're getting yelled at about it.
Well, it's like we were talking the other night, right? About cheating, and everybody cheats, dude. Like, every professional sports team, every professional sports player, they all cheat to some degree. We as fans just decide what level of cheating we deem appropriate, right? At the end of the day, we just say, well, okay, this is kind of okay, and then when we start to see things get a little crazy, like, well, let's back it up, right? Like, let's be fair. Let's talk about the Astros for a second. Every team steals the calls, the signs, right? The pitching signs. Every team does it. The Astros just got caught because they used like TVs and bullshit, right? But every team is stealing signs, and that's why they mask them and they do sign language to fucking try to hide it. But they're all doing it, dude. And I was having this conversation with my wife too the other day because it's similar to Alex, right? She's like, she thought, well, look, I'm sure there are some athletes that don't cheat, right? You want to believe that. But the fact is, everybody's doing something. The margin of victory, the margin of talent, especially at the professional level of sports, is so razor thin. There's
only 1,700 employees on the field.
Exactly.
Or possibly on the field in the NFL. And if there's only 1,700 positions, I think it's like 1,600 something actually.
Yeah.
Everybody, if they could just get 1 inch closer, people are going to take it.
Exactly. Well, it was like in the NBA a couple years ago, they had those shoes that had like air or they had some kind of like insert for shoes that they had to eventually ban because it was making people just being able to jump like an inch taller, like an inch higher, is a massive advantage at a professional level. Because if you're jumping 10 inches and now you can jump 11 inches and the rest of the league is only ever jumping 10 inches, now you're the highest jumper in the league because you use some kind of insert in your shoe. And that's why, again, it's just, and it's typically retroactively that we decide when things are okay or not okay as far as cheating. And then we try to pin it on people after the fact. It's like, look, let's just, and this whole conversation came up originally, right? Because we were talking about the baseball players. And I've always been the one to say there's no reason why those guys don't belong in the Hall of Fame. Everybody was doping in the 90s. It's
not even just the 90s. During
and beyond.
Like I want to say like the 1920s during like Prohibition and stuff like that. For a fact, even Babe Ruth, as much as we want to say he was the great one in baseball or started it all, for a fact that he probably cheated in some form or fact. Even the game itself advertises or says it's okay to cheat, stealing bases. Come on. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, that's my kid in the background.
No problem. For that. No, it's okay. And the other thing too is like every sport has penalties in game, right? There's cheating that goes on in every single game, and we just call it a penalty. But we're okay with that because they penalize them in the game. But like if we were really gonna penalize players for cheating, there would be no Hall of Fame. There would be nobody in the Hall of Fame to begin with because all of them have cheated, even to a degree, like again a holding play in a call in the NFL or an unnecessary roughness or whatever. Those are all forms of cheating, but again, we just deem them to be acceptable and we kind of penalize them at the moment. But you don't ban people from the Hall of Fame for doing it. It's a little silly. Now, like the Pete Rose thing, I could maybe say is a little more egregious, right? Because the dude made money by fixing games. Fixing games, I think, is a whole other thing. And it's another reason why I'm really worried about Ross, but that remains to be seen because fixing games is kind of a whole other deal because now you're cheating the system to profit off of something you have control over that nobody else does. That's kind of like insider trading, but like I feel worse, right? Because now you've just soiled the competitive advantage of an entire sport and of the gambling industry. So it's like a double-edged sword there.
Yeah, speaking of the gambling industry, so Calvin Ridley, I really feel NFL
the Calvin
used
Ridley
him,
thing.
Yeah, I think NFL used him as the fall guy.
1,000,000,000%, dude.
To cover up really what was going on with the whole tampering allegation against Ross.
There is no reason why that man deserved the type of suspension. You know what's going to be the crazier thing to think of? I guarantee you Calvin Ridley will be suspended longer than Deshaun Watson. Think about that, dude. Calvin Ridley will be suspended longer for betting on games that he didn't play in, that he had no effect in, that he literally he was sitting at home on his couch betting on games. He will be suspended longer than Deshaun Watson.
I'm going to challenge that.
You think so?
Allegation, and I'll tell you why.
He's suspended at least a year. Calvin Ridley.
I think. Okay, I'm not going to necessarily challenge it, but I am going to put up a disclaimer on the Deshaun Watson pending suspension. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And let me just look up a certain stat, and I'll tell you why.
Okay, go for it.
1 second here.
Because we can go on this one.
Oh, this one's gonna surprise you, so just bear with me 1 second.
Okay.
I want the exact number so then I could use that as my reference. Okay.
Sure. I need some water.
Okay. Here we go. However, let me just read this for a second. 1 second.
No, go for it, dude. It's quiet tonight. There's nobody's out here.
Yeah, I was thinking about checking out color commentary if he's on. But...
Yeah, Color's on, but even over there, Color's only got like 30 viewers right now, which for them is very low. I think TD was on earlier too, but I don't know if TD's still on.
TD's been doing like midday, like while I'm still at work, live times, and I'm like, I don't get to see it. Like, hold on.
TD did.
Okay.
TD's currently live actually.
So women influence. This is the big stat I'm looking for. Okay. All right, and I'm gonna break down what Deshaun Watson supposedly, because that's what we're gonna go with, supposedly.
Yep, absolutely, 100%.
Has done, and why the NFL is really taking their time to figure out what his punishment needs to be. Okay, because honestly, by now there should be a punishment.
Sure.
So, Deshaun Watson has been accused by 22, maybe 23 women that he had some type of unwanted sexual interaction with them. Okay. And some people, they've come out as closely as saying is like he tried to pay for sex. Some people have accused him of, kissing or groping when it wasn't, wanted. I don't know all the exact accusations. I can just say it's along that line. Okay. So here is what we know. We know that 22 women have been involved, not one woman. Okay.
Yep.
We know that he hasn't actually been accused of rape, so to speak.
Correct.
That term has not come up in anything that I've read.
Yep, everything I've seen is like misconduct or harassment.
Yes, along that line. So there's not really necessarily a black eye, and I'm not trying to say that what he did was.
No, I understand what you mean. Yeah, I get you.
What he supposedly did, I'm not saying that it's right or anyone should go through that. All I'm saying is that it doesn't look as bad as what we've seen previously, okay? But the reason it is bad is because two things. One, 22 women, not one woman, 22. That's the number you have to think about.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
Second, it's women. And that is what I want to get at with this stat. So women and U.S. spending, women make up more than half of the U.S. population and control or influence 85% of consumer spending.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's a legit stat. All right, no joke. I've known this for a long time. I used to work retail for over 10 years. I used to work at Best Buy. I'm sure you know what Best Buy is.
Yep.
So yeah, I used to work there for 10 years. And one thing that they taught us a lot about is why, how to approach our female shoppers, moms and people buying things for their families and whatnot, and how to approach them and what maybe to offer them, and that was something we learned. Now, So they have 85% of consumer spending that they control. So that's everything from jerseys, hats. Do we have somebody else here with us now?
Oh yeah, MCJB hopped in.
MC, what's up, man?
I'm sorry, I can barely hear anyone. I think it's my phone. Hold on. Give me a minute.
Okay, no worries. I'm just going to continue with my thing.
On the DistroKid Discord.
All right. So anyway, so they control purchases of hats, jerseys, all memorabilia.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Anything related to anything that the NFL might be involved in, they somehow have controlling power. 85% of it, right? So that being said, if in collective, if certain groups of people make this issue of him not getting suspended or not getting enough games more of a big deal, the NFL, with that controlling power that they could lose from women, could effectively affect their pockets. Everything is about money nowadays. Do you agree with that?
For sure.
Yeah.
Definitely. So if they lose billions because of Deshaun Watson and them only giving him, let's just say, the retarded suspension of maybe 6 games, because even Ezekiel Elliott, which they couldn't prove anything and he never got charged with anything, they gave him 6 games anyway. You know, let's say they just did that. I think that's a smack to women's face, which the NFL has recently been trying to encourage women and approach them in positive ways and trying to gain their fan base. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You would be losing grounds a lot, and not only that, but affecting your wallets. And that's something I don't think the NFL or the people that run the NFL, that Illuminati that we keep talking about, I don't think that they want to lose money no matter what. I think they can live with giving him a 1-year suspension. There is a reason why Cleveland Browns still have not traded Baker Mayfield. There is a reason why they're still looking at QBs and adding more QBs to their roster. Okay? I think they're prepping for 1 whole year without Deshaun Watson.
Interesting.
That's my conspiracy theory on it, but legitimately, I really feel that he's going to get more than 6 games. Don't be surprised if it's 10 games. Don't be surprised if it's 1 year, but it's going to be more than 6. If the NFL is smart about it and don't want that backlash, because they already have enough to deal with. They got tampering, they got racism. What do you want, the trifecta and like the whole women deal? They got it all. You know what I mean? They need to.
Yeah.
They need to clean house in a sense of we need to start sweeping this stuff away out of the picture.
Interesting. It's an interesting take. I mean, it's. But okay, let me flip it on you now. What about the Colin Kaepernick situation, right? So we talk about. Would you say like about half of? Well, let's talk about NFL fans. Like, what do we think that? It was probably split right around down the center. That half of the fan base was of the entire NFL was pro Kaepernick, and the other half was probably, anti-Kaepernick. And the NFL, I mean, they didn't really come out and do anything crazy. I mean, you could say that maybe they did actually blackball him, and we'll never know again because they settled and we'll never hear the evidence. But I mean, they
essentially behind the scenes, the NFL, what they did to Colin Kaepernick, they did blackball him, but it's because they
gave him a
didn't
tryout
want the
afterwards.
political... They what? I'm sorry.
They gave him a tryout.
They have, but here's the flip side of it. Okay, I'm gonna flip it back to you now. Okay.
Okay.
So the thing is, the reason the NFL didn't really know what to do, there was no right or wrong answer on what to do with the Colin Kaepernick thing. Okay.
Sure.
I'm a veteran myself. Okay. I served 8 years in the Air National Guard.
Wow. That's awesome.
And thank you. And I think it's perfectly okay to kneel during the national anthem. All right. If you think about it, in middle-aged times and during times of maybe the Renaissance or even like royalty times, people kneeled in front of their kings and queens and their flags of their country. People kneel in front of the cross. You know what I'm saying? In certain religions and whatnot, or whatever the religion may be, they kneel in front of that thing. I think it's a sign of, respect and admiration and
Sure.
whatnot. He was trying to kneel to make it aware to people to think about, we have these freedoms, but we need to protect others, maybe of a different color, who have freedoms as well.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And the other thing of it is that, well, that's disrespectful for veterans. I don't think it's disrespectful. You think about it, thousands and you could say millions of veterans have died protecting freedoms. But then
Yeah.
you're telling me that their death didn't mean anything? For they died for allowing those freedoms for you to do that. You understand what I'm saying? So
Absolutely.
so in one aspect, they really can't do anything because one, the political outlook, because you had one major party that was, which the president included, that was calling them names on national TV every freaking day. You know what I mean? And saying that they're a bunch of, I'm not even gonna say it on your channel because I don't want to get in trouble or get you in trouble. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate it.
He said all those things and everything, and making them look bad every day on Fox News and any other news network that would listen. So you had that issue. You have the military who, to be honest, if you ask most veterans, and even the person that Colin Kaepernick even confided in before he even did this, he asked, how would you feel about it? Half the veterans are going to tell you that they think it's okay.
Yeah.
That what's the point of us dying if you're not going to allow freedoms to do things? You're going to take away freedoms just so, and have us die for no reason? That's what they're going to tell you. And that's what I'm going to tell you. Now, there's a lot worse things that he could have done that I felt would have been very much more disrespectful.
Like sitting was kind of what he was doing initially, and
sitting, I don't really care. I don't really say that's disrespectful because there's some people just can't stand. I get that. If he turned his back to the flag, that would have pissed me off. That would have.
Yeah.
That would have kind of upset me. If he was at the top, there's some groups that go as far as like burning flags. I don't believe in burning flags. I don't. I think it's disrespectful, and I don't feel like I understand people have a right to do it. I just would never do it myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you.
That's how I feel about it. If you feel that's necessary, that's fine. I just think that's too far. But he never turned his back to the flag, which during the national anthem, I thought that would have been more disrespectful than anything else. He never did that, and I'm completely cool with it. I was even on board of kneeling with him or kneeling with my fellow friends that are affected by what they were trying to make awareness to.
Of course.
You know what I mean? And even at home, me and my friends, we kneeled every time we watched on TV. We did that, and I don't think there's any problem with it. I think that the media and what certain political
What's up, Nick?
figures, not just in politics but also other industries like sports world and that kind of stuff, and talk show, and what I'm saying, there's media for everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you.
I feel that they made a bigger issue than what it really was. And
100%.
going back to the main
Clicks.
question here, main take is that I feel the NFL really didn't have a right or wrong answer to what to do. Now, what they did to make their political figures happy is they blackballed him, unfortunately. I don't feel that was necessary. But at the same time, when they did give him the tryout, he didn't really look so good, to be honest. In fact, it wasn't until recently, the most recent workouts I've seen, he's looked much better than the last two workouts that he did.
Yeah, I agree.
So I hope he does get a Seattle job. I think that would be good for him. I like their coach.
How old is he now? Isn't he like... He's getting up there, no?
Kaepernick or the coach?
Kaepernick.
Kaepernick.
He's like upper 20s, lower 30s, I think.
No.
Yeah, I think so. Hold on.
He's got to be in his 30s by now.
He is 34 years old.
Okay, yeah, I was going to say.
He got a good 4 years left, man.
Well,
I mean,
he hasn't been
4
playing. He doesn't have like the wear and tear, right?
No, he doesn't have the wear and tear. I say give him a chance. I understand why Miami fans were very upset with him Not so much for the kneeling part, but because of the stance he took on. I forget if he was a Cuban leader or somebody that affected the Miami ethnic groups. That the political it was some political leader of a different country that he took a. He had to wear a shirt
Did
or
you guys
something.
say something about Cubans?
Yeah, I think it was something about somebody that was like the Cuban.
In the chat they're saying he's wearing a Castro shirt, a Fidel Castro shirt.
Was it Fidel Castro? Okay, I didn't
Was
know
it
if
Fidel
that's what
Castro
he
or
was.
was it what's his name? Yeah, Nick, I just approved you to join the stream chat. So you should see the stream chat in Discord now.
This was like 2, 3, 4 years ago, wasn't it?
It was. He said it was.
Yeah.
It was Castro.
Yeah, it was a Fidel Castro shirt. You're absolutely right. So
What's up,
yeah,
Nick?
So
Hey, what's going on, y'all?
oh man. So yeah, that I understand. I understand why they were upset with him. You know, I thought prior to him being blackballed, I thought his stats and the way he was playing, I thought was better than any quarterback that we had at the time.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So that's why I kind of was like, oh man, I kind of wish he comes here because I think, you know, he still is better than, you know, at least the bottom half of the league. I thought he's a better quarterback than most of them.
Mm-hmm.
He
So-
almost won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, he almost won a Super Bowl. In fact, that's another reason I was like, man, he's been there. He's done some stuff.
Yeah. Well, my
Now-
wife's a big 49ers fan, and like I watched him pretty closely when he was with the 49ers, and I mean,
I thought
he
he
could
was-
play. Dude could play.
This is what I thought. My parents also thought this as well. He's not the greatest QB in the world, but he's not the worst.
He was better
Fair.
than 15 other QBs, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'd agree.
That's for
Right.
damn.
You know, but I didn't.
Sorry, Drew, I didn't mean to interrupt you though.
No, you're all right, dude.
So what's going on, you guys? What do you guys want to talk about? It feels like me and Drew have been talking about everything.
Yeah. What's up, Nick?
Marlins just fucking won, but aside.
Hey, did you see the LED lights? You see the new LED lights?
Yo, that shit look lit.
You gotta
they
check. You
play?
gotta see the tweet. You gotta see the tweet that I did.
Lit.
Who did
But,
the Marlins play?
We played the Phillies.
Oh hell yeah! Let's go.
We've been holding for the last
What was
like 3
the score?
games.
I don't get. What was
I believe it was like 4-3. Hold on, give me a second. I just friggin' saw the game, but I don't know. Yeah, it was 4-3. It was 4-3.
4-3.
We should have won yesterday, the day before that Rob.
Dude, It's
Homer.
the umpires have been screwing us left and right like the last 2 games. I'm glad that the ump was actually solid in today's game. The calls at the home plate were pretty fair.
Drew,
Yeah.
My team is. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What's up, MC?
I hope you come next Friday.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say to Nick. Yeah, I'm gonna be probably at the Marlins game in Atlanta on either Friday or Saturday. Or Friday or Sunday.
I
I
gotta
mean,
go Friday because I work Saturday, so I'm going Friday.
yeah.
Nice, that's what's up, bro.
Keep it
Alright.
real. Gotta rep the team.
Drew, you know what I want to do so bad?
What?
You know who Gideon is, right?
Who's that?
Do you know who Gideon is, the YouTuber?
No, I'm not familiar.
Y'all know who that is? No.
No, sir.
I'm sorry.
DeMarcus Cousins the third? No, doesn't ring a bell.
Nah.
All right.
DeMarcus Cousin, as in the
No,
center
it's,
for.
it's a long story. Never mind. Y'all won't get it unless y'all watch it.
Yeah, because I was like, Boogie's got a YouTube channel. What?
Yeah, his name. So it's this dude, right? His name is. They call him. Well, his YouTube name is Gideon, but he's like a prankster.
Okay.
So like he goes. He's from Houston, so he goes around like different malls. He sometimes goes to sporting events and goes like, "Let's go Bucks!" And just yells just does nonsense stuff. Basically, that's what I was.
So he goes repping the team wherever he goes.
Basically.
So that's gonna be you on Friday at the.
I want to, but I don't think Truist Park is gonna let me on the
They're
camera.
gonna kick you out of there so fast.
They will definitely. But I probably will be the only Marlins fan in my section.
Probably. It's probably gonna be the same for me too, dude. So.
Oh yeah.
But I hope you come Friday.
Yeah, it'll be cool. We'll see. I still haven't like decided because it's either going to be the Sunday game or the Friday game, and I might be having like family come with me too. So, you know, when you go with more than.
You're gonna do like the not the nosebleed section, but like the upper deck.
Yeah, I was looking at like I might get in the 200s if a seat pops up, but.
But I got so lucky. My bad. I know we're supposed to be talking about Dolphins, but hold on.
Blame me.
I got lucky with my tickets, right? So I work at Home Depot.
Yeah.
And Home Depot's like a big sponsor for all Atlanta sports.
Yeah.
Playing people and stuff like that. Well, anyway, my boss, excuse me, he got like 3 tickets. And he couldn't make it because he had to work.
Oh, okay.
I go up to him and goes, you got tickets? I'll pay you right now for how much? He said, oh yeah, you definitely are a Miami fan. 50 a piece. So I said,
$50? That's a steal.
So I said, and what, bro? You don't guess what fucking section I'm in?
What section?
I told you already the section, didn't I? I'm in the lower level. I'm near the field.
You're in like the 100 section?
And I'm closest to the Marlins dugout.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
nice.
The tickets are way more expensive out here in Atlanta than it is in Miami.
Well, it's because they fucking won the World fucking Series. Sorry about the fuckers.
No, you could curse here. It's all right.
All right, good. You're not like Stephen D.
No. Well, he's doing a morning show, right? He tries to keep it family friendly, but it's 11:30. My kids are asleep. Everybody's kids are fucking asleep right now.
Except mine.
Except Ali's. Yeah. Okay. Look, don't curse now because Ali's kids are up.
No. We're fine, bro. I got you on the headset. You're fine.
Yeah.
I wanted to say son of a bitch earlier, but I didn't use the term because I wasn't sure. I didn't want to get you in trouble.
Oh, yeah. No. You're good. You can curse here.
This is a South Florida stream, even though Druba lives up in Georgia.
No longer in Florida, but that's fine.
Whatever. We can cut however much we want to.
Drew, have you ever heard my intro on the Static Show?
Of course.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, it's dope. Yeah, listen, and then I'll let you plug it. I'll let you plug it for the one viewer that's in the in Twitch. I'll put it up on YouTube later. So.
Yeah, I'll do it right now.
Didn't you do a song recently with Solo D?
No, I haven't yet. We're waiting for the season to come in.
Drew, I'm gonna be right back. Keep on going. I'm gonna be right back though. Okay.
Yeah, no problem, dude.
Yeah, we've got it settled. It's just we gotta wait.
I feel you.
Because we're still. I don't think we're done with the trades. The draft hasn't.
Okay.
I definitely was going to do something for the draft class if we even draft anyone good. I feel like it's going to be like just people I don't even know.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna make any moves in this draft. I think we're just gonna take the guys wherever we're at and
take whoever we like the linebacker.
Honestly,
I'm actually fucking with Bijan, not like that, but that Texas.
With who?
Bijan Robinson.
Bijan Robinson.
Texas. He's a running back. They say he's the next Barry Sanders. Apparently, They play Alabama this year, so I'm gonna say how well he does against 5 stars. Then I'm gonna make up my mind.
Now I'm gonna tell you who I want. I want that punter, Ariza.
There we go.
Yo, give me that punter in the 3rd round. I'll take him.
But straight up, to be honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised if the Dolphins just trade picks in this draft.
Yeah, I mean, no reason not to, right?
It's a really weak draft.
Yeah, well, and where it's strong, right, is where we don't need help, right? We've got a pretty good wide receiver core now, so, and this was a deep wide receiver class. But I will say there are some running backs, like later round running backs, that are going to be available that are intriguing at the very least.
James Cook.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Miami, we've had a good history with late round running backs, right? Everybody likes to shit on Myles Gaskin, but for a 6th round pick, dude, you can't ask for much better than what you got out of Myles Gaskin.
Nope.
Keeping it real. Again, because he's our starting running back, right? I bet you almost every team in the NFL would gladly take Myles Gaskin as a 2nd string running back. Easily.
Yeah, for sure.
Any day of the week. For a 6th round pick, easily.
He's a little scat back. Just get him down, yeah.
Yeah, he's not an every down back, which when you take a guy in the 6th round, you're not really looking for an every down back. But if you can get a Myles Gaskin, that's a win. It's a big win. And Jay Ajayi was another guy we took late in the draft, right? Jay Ajayi was he wasn't as late. He wasn't a 6th round pick.
Maybe 3rd or 4th.
I want to say he was a 3rd or 4th round pick.
Where is he doing right now? What team is he on right now?
Ajayi, he's out. He's out of the
not
league.
on a team.
Oh.
Yeah, he's been out of the league for about 2 years now.
Oh yeah, he went to Philly after Miami, didn't he?
Yeah,
Yep.
He's been out of the league for 3 years.
Damn, I'm getting old.
Jay Ajayi was drafted in the 5th round.
There you go. All right. Hey, we can say whatever we want about Jay, but he's got a ring.
Yeah.
Sure as hell does.
He's got a ring, and he contributed that season too.
Absolutely contributed. He was a major contributor on that team.
Oh yeah.
Who did we trade him for again?
A bag of chips. It was Kiko.
Yeah.
Wasn't that the trade with Kiko for Kiko?
No, because didn't Kiko come from New Orleans? Hold on, let me.
Ajayi was traded to the Philadelphia Eagles for a 4th round pick. My bad.
Yeah. So,
I think the Kiko trade was for draft picks. We traded for Kiko like in the draft, didn't we? Wasn't that also part of like the Josh Rosen trade? Or am I we've made so many trades the last few years.
But it's been crazy.
Yeah, check me out. On March 9th, 2016, the Philadelphia Eagles traded Alonzo, cornerback Byron Maxwell. Fuck.
Byron Maxwell.
In a first round pick, 13th overall in the 2016 draft, in exchange for the Dolphins' 1st round pick, which was the 8th overall in the 2016 draft.
Okay.
So they basically tossed us 2 players, to move down in the 1st round.
Yes.
Okay with that? I remember being okay with that for sure.
Yeah, Kiko was fun. He was fun to watch. He was all right.
Yeah, his talent wasn't like really high, but he had a knack for like really busting up plays.
He was definitely like a boom or bust player, right? He was either gonna have a great game, or he was just gonna disappear.
Yeah.
But not a bad trade to move back a couple spots.
Yeah. But I'm pretty sure we're gonna do that shit this year, dude. Like I'd be willing to bet.
Yeah.
Stanford.
Question for everybody, I guess. Do you think Miami's done making moves this offseason?
Nope.
No?
I want to say no as well, but it's like, what other... Damn, just saw a video. Sorry, I'm a little distracted. But I'm like, what other moves do we have to make? Is this going to be an actual super team? Like, I don't know.
Are we already a super
Is that
team?
the goal? Huh?
Nah, we're not a super team.
No, you don't think so?
Nah, we're
close.
Our receivers are our whole backfield. Our whole backfield's like a super team.
I mean, them, yes, absolutely. Those wide receivers.
My bad. Go ahead.
That wide receiver core, No, that wide receiver core is easily top 5 in the league for sure.
I think number one. Honestly,
Yeah.
if we can, I think that I don't know any duo better than Waddle and freaking Hill. I don't.
I don't think there is.
And we forget too that I forget. I don't want to put that on anybody else, but I forget that Mike Gesicki's on this team still, which still is crazy. And Cedric Wilson too. I was stoked when we got Cedric Wilson. I was like, all right, this is cool. You know, Waddle, DVP, Cedric Wilson. I can fuck with that, but
Mike Gesicki is not a tight end. He's a slot receiver.
Yeah, exactly. He's basically an extension of the wide receiver room. Did you guys see his presser that he did today?
He was jacked.
I mean, dude's beefy.
Well, he getting some weight up.
Yeah, but he said a lot of good things. I mean, I like that he's coming in and he I think his words verbatim were like, you know, I don't want to be a distraction, a locker room distraction, or bring in drama. You know, I'm going to come in and work. He's obviously not happy he got franchise tag, but he's been like really classy about it. I really hope he stays healthy and it doesn't affect him, right? That would be the worst thing possible. But I hope he does. I hope he stays healthy all year. I hope he plays great. And I hope the following year he gets a big time deal somewhere else, because he definitely deserves it. I just don't think he's going to be a fit for Miami.
Wait, today was National Dolphin Day.
Apparently.
I didn't even know that. Sorry. Yeah. Wait, so you said that Mike Gesicki was trying to get his weight up? Is that what I'm hearing?
No, he just looks big. He's just beefy.
Yeah.
Looking beefy.
And what video is this? What picture is this?
He did an interview today. His first interview.
You know what I think?
What's that?
I think McDaniel convinced him to focus on blocking this year.
Will
I don't know, dude. But like from everybody that I hear from, if there's a guy who's just bad at blocking, you can't make like a bad blocker a good blocker. Like if once they get to the NFL.
Sorry, go ahead. My bad, Job.
No, you're fine. I just, from what I've heard from guys, right, that like once you get to the NFL level, if you are not a good blocker and at tight end, you just didn't have it at all. You just don't have the skill set to do it. I mean, maybe they're wrong, maybe I'm wrong, but I'd love to be wrong. I'd absolutely love to be wrong.
How do I get a picture?
What do you mean? How do you get a picture?
I'm looking
Avatar.
at the screen
You're
right
talking about
now.
Avatar.
Oh, or Avatar? Yeah. How do I get my picture uploaded?
I think you got to go into your user settings and change it through there.
In Discord.
In Discord.
To answer your.
Do that. Interrupt the conversation again.
It's okay. To respond to your thing about the tight ends, though, I feel like blocking is an acquired skill that you could be taught. That's something that I think it's just a matter of teaching that, like Gesicki and some of the other tight ends in the league we've seen in the past have needed. But I will say this: you saw Gesicki's interview recently, right?
Yeah, we were just talking about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I just jumped in. I apologize.
No, you're good.
Look at those arms, though. You can't. He was showing those guns for a reason.
Oh, he's jacked.
Yep.
I'm not kidding. That guy had some guns on him, and he was showing it for a reason. But one thing that scares me, though, not really scares me, but concerns me, the way he was talking about, getting franchised and not getting re-signed. I could hear the disappointment in his voice. Like
For sure.
I feel like it bothers him still. But if he shows that he can block and be effective in this scheme, dude, the Dolphins have no choice, but they have to pay him.
They'll pay him.
I think he'd be next.
They'll pay him for sure if he can prove it. If he can prove that he's got what it takes to not only be a receiver, but that he can block too. They'll definitely keep him. And if there's any coaching staff that can do it, it's this one, right? How many offensive line coaches did they bring in? Like offensive line gurus, so to speak. There's at least 3 that I can think of off the top of my head. So he's going to have an opportunity to do it. But can he do it? Will he do it? He did definitely seem a little bit disappointed. You could tell, but I appreciate him for, like saying he wasn't going to be a drama queen and he was going to, put his head down and work, and he said, eventually I'll get paid. I hope he doesn't get hurt, man, because that would be the worst thing, getting hurt while franchise tag.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing.
What happens if you do get hurt during franchise tag?
You just ruined your potential for getting a big time contract when that time comes. Not totally ruined, right? Because, I mean, look at the left tackle we just signed. I mean, we signed it on a really team-friendly deal, but that's because he's got, they probably had to negotiate that because of
a
injuries.
lot of people bring that up, but one thing they kind of like forget to mention, or at least think about, is that the system we're gonna ask him to play most of the time is a system that he actually flourishes in and didn't have those injury concerns with.
True.
You know what I mean?
And he's playing on grass now.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying, and he's playing on grass now, which is a big bonus. Not having to play on turf anymore.
That too, but I'm talking about the system of play. You know what I mean? I think it's going to suit him better because it's more of a run first team rather than pass blocking a lot more so. I'm not saying we're not going to throw the ball, because we are. There's no reason to get Tyreek Hill if we're not going to. But the thing is that I feel that I think he's going to be more successful in this system because of that.
Interesting.
Have y'all seen the Tua interview?
I didn't get to watch it yet. No.
Yeah, neither have I.
Apparently, they mentioned Solo D in there.
Oh, for real?
That's what I've been told.
That's a glowing endorsement coming out of a Tua interview, bringing up Solo D.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a big
Hold
time
on, guys.
endorsement.
I'm gonna be right back. I got another call.
All right, no problem, buddy. So, let's see. So we talked about a little bit about Lamar Jackson. We talked a little bit about the Brady stuff. Is there anything we missed? I'm trying to think of all the crazy stuff that's been going on. It's been
We talked about the Commanders. Their ownership is ridiculous.
I know. It's crazy, dude.
It's in ours, in my opinion. But
I asked. I wasn't. I don't. Maybe I think it was while you were hopped off. So I asked, do we think we're done making moves this offseason? Okay.
Not at all.
So with that said, because that both you and Nick said that, so I'm curious, who do you think, or who would you like to see the Miami Dolphins make a move for?
Well, here is what we know. Okay. We know that after the big storm of Tyreek Hill getting traded, that even Drew Rosenhaus himself said there's another trade in the works. Don't be surprised. That's going to break the internet. Okay. Who that is, we don't know. But there's rumblings and word from sources that I trust that there's a move going to be made on a defensive side soon. We saw Melvin Ingram in the building.
Mm-hmm.
But we've been interested in him for several years now, and he's really good friends, and it shares the same agent with Howard. So I think that's how we get that connection. We also saw Reuben Foster in the building, which personally, if we were to get Melvin Ingram and even Foster at the same time, I feel both of those signings would solidify the defense as a whole, because one, we really need a middle linebacker. I don't care what people say. To make our defense work, we need a middle linebacker. In addition, I feel that signing Ingram is a double-edged sword. One, I think it helps mature or mentor Phillips more. Okay, and if one of our defensive ends go down, who are you going to get as the backup? I'd feel a lot better having a Melvin Ingram waiting for that position. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And two, I think it helps shore with the combination of him and the middle linebacker or Foster if we get him. I feel it kind of bolsters the run defense a little bit more. We can cover that run better than we have in the past 2 years.
Nice. Good takes. Nick, you still there? He's gone. He left.
I put him to sleep. Damn,
he fell asleep. Now, Nick's a busy guy. He's a teacher, so God bless the teachers of the world. But no, I think there's something. Listen, I think there's going to be some consequences that are going to come from the Stephen Ross thing. And very likely they'd be related to draft picks, right? We may as well trade these damn picks while we still can. Because the other thing I thought of too, well, if we trade our picks, then what would they do? Would they take like future first round picks? Would they take like our 2025 first round pick? Or I don't know, but I think they'd probably at that point just try to punish us in some other ways, right? Maybe, I don't know if they could reduce our salary cap or do some crazy shit, but
I don't think they'll reduce the salary cap. I think that they would just bill the team to like a $10 million fine, to be honest. I mean, that's a lot, but I'm just saying worst case scenario. I mean, you think about it this way, okay? There was tampering charges that have been filed in the NBA several times over the past couple of years, specifically with the Lakers, for example, and Magic Johnson. He only got a $555,000 fine. You know what I mean?
Radar too.
Say what? Say that again?
The Heat were on the radar too.
Yeah, so I mean, it happens all the time in the NBA. So that's what tampering to me. I think it shouldn't even be a rule. Like there shouldn't be even any fine for it, because another sport that I watch that's more on the worldwide scale, there is no such thing as tampering. Players can talk with other teams and negotiate deals for future out of contract seasons before they're even off of being contracted. You know, there is a free agency type of period. Like there's a period of the year that you're allowed to sign players that are not on contract, for example, or buy players from teams, because that's how they do it in soccer, to be honest. That's the sport I'm talking about. But players can negotiate those contract agreements before they're even purchased or before their contract is up. That's basically any time of the year. And that's how it's done. And I kind of wish the NFL would do that, because, like, for example, I'm just giving you an example here. So my favorite soccer team is Chelsea. Chelsea purchased a player from an Italian team last year. They paid the team before they even paid the player $100 million for the player. So imagine the Dolphins selling one of our players for like $100 million, and you get to add that to your cap. How fucked up would that be?
That'd be pretty dope.
Would be dope, right? Only in the real world. But I think tampering is just bullshit. I mean, I can understand if you're paying a player while he's under contract with another team. Yeah, that's messed up. But the whole concept, I talked to you about maybe coming to our team, I think it's BS.
Well, hold on. Paying another player while they're not... We've been paying Ndamukong Suh for the last, 30 years.
Yeah, but I'm talking about, let's say a player that's never been in contract.
I get you. No, I was being facetious. But I don't even know if I used that in the correct context. But no,
you did.
It would be pretty dope. I think there's a lot of things that the NFL doesn't do very good that should change, right? And we see that they've slowly start to implement new things as we go. But I think we're going to see, especially moving forward, there's going to be a lot of player-friendly things. I think the NFL could turn to something more along the lines of how the NBA, players union structures all their contracts and shit. You're going to see a lot more guaranteed deals. Deshaun Watson opened that floodgate wide open, right?
Yeah.
So I think that there is definitely going to be some changes when it comes to how players' contracts are structured, and maybe even hopefully how players can be acquired in the future. Because let's be honest, the tampering period thing didn't exist until a certain period. Before that, the tampering period was illegal. I still don't understand why they have it and why they even call it the tampering period, because It's so we all know that they're probably talking to these players even before then. Actually, I know for a fact because Emmanuel Ogba blew the whistle on that. He said he had deals in place from like 3 or 4 other teams, and we signed him or they announced that he was signing with the team immediately after immediately before the tampering window opened. So
it's already been leaked out of the bag that they talk actually during the combine as well, which is not part of the tampering period. So it's already been teams already like know it, like they've already said it. I think it was one of our coaches or somebody that mentioned it, that they have conversations, but nothing like too substantial, but they know there's interest.
It's still considered tampering.
Yeah.
I just thought it was funny that Emmanuel Ogba accidentally kind of like blew the whistle on himself there.
Oops.
Yeah, oopsie doopsies. But Nick, are you back?
Yeah, I'm back.
Oh no, so I'm gonna ask you the same question I was asking Ali. Like who would you like to see the Dolphins make a run after, or who do you think if there's somebody you think they may have in mind?
I don't necessarily have any names in particular because I haven't looked at what the situation is in this particular like type of position, but I'm sure not only would they try to go for linebackers, but potentially other teams is left tackles, because that's still the blind side that we haven't fully resolved.
Do you mean the right tackle?
The right tackle?
Well, no, because my bad. Right tackle. I'm dumb.
I know we have a left-handed quarterback. It's literally the worst.
Left-handed, but so we haven't fully resolved the whole right tackle situation, but at least we got the left tackle supposedly.
Yeah, I was curious to see if they would move him to right tackle, but it sounds like they're going to keep him at left tackle. Which okay. Let's just hope that Austin Jackson can light it up this year. I'm going to be honest. I think Austin Jackson is way better than what we've seen. I think he's going to do much better in this scheme.
I'm not even going to try to even rate Austin Jackson yet, because I'm giving him a wash for last year, only because there was no coaching involved.
Yes.
And let's be honest. The coaches weren't talking to the head coach, and the head coach wasn't talking to the coaches. So that means no coach happened. That's basically how I'm looking at it. So, in my opinion, I feel like we should not even hold that against, Austin Jackson. And the other part of it is I kind of feel like he was a decent right tackle when he was playing right tackle too. And in the system that he played at, was it USC? University of Southern California, that's where he played, right?
I believe so.
I'm pretty sure they ran a similar zone run offense that they're trying to run here now, and he actually did very well in it. So I think he could very well be formidable, way more so much in this offense than he was last year. Just my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I think with the coaching staff we've brought in, again, I mentioned it earlier, the offensive line gurus, so to speak, that they've brought in, you've got to think that they're going to be able to develop these guys. Because I've said it from day one, there's no way you miss on every single offensive lineman that you picked up, right? We've drafted so many offensive linemen over the last 3 to 4 years, and we've picked up guys. I just don't believe that they were all bad. There's got to be some in there. Well, we know Rob Hunt is pretty good, right? But one out of a billion, there's got to be some better offensive linemen that are already on this team, and they were just not properly developed.
Eichenberg was a first-round rated draft prospect. All right, he was supposed to go in the first round. So for you to tell me that he's a garbage prospect and nobody caught that prior to the draft, that's BS. All right, and he was also, I think he was known for not allowing a sack or he had some crazy stat prior to being drafted. All right, so yeah, he may have a little bit shorter arm length than what you would really want, But I really feel it comes down to coaching, as we've said. Now we have real coaches in place. We can see what happens. Then now we can rate them officially.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I know there was, I think it was yesterday, there was an article about Austin Jackson saying that he sees himself as a tackle, but I think he's, and again, if we do see like a crazy improvement in some of these offensive linemen, I think it's going to further my conspiracy that maybe there was some tomfoolery going on, as far as potentially throwing games last year, or last season. And I think that could be the case. I think we could see a major improvement, a major shift and improvement in the guys we've taken, specifically guys like Austin Jackson and Eichenberg. I think they're going to make a big leap, especially with the other guys picking up some slack too.
So here's some news to talk about, and it does not directly affect the Dolphins. And I don't mean to interrupt you there. I
No,
just saw something that popped up on Twitter that surprised me, and don't be surprised if they give us a call. So Dallas cornerback Kelvin Joseph is possible person of interest in a murder.
Ooh, whoa.
Yeah, and if that is true, don't be surprised if they call us to say, hey, you have 2 good cornerbacks. What do you want?
And that Byron Jones contract is juicy, boy. That's a
Yeah,
really
there's a
tempting
reason.
contract.
There's a reason why we restructured that way, because it makes it more tradable than anything else. So what's your thoughts on that?
Who do you want from the Cowboys?
Well, I don't know what I want to get players we need, bro. I mean, we could get draft picks out of this. I mean, I'm down with that too, because I mean,
They do have a hell of an O-line.
Say what? Say that again.
They do have a hell of an O-line.
Well, had.
Yeah,
Well,
they had a
We
good
stole
O-line.
one. We stole one. Bengals stole one. They still have the best guard in the league. What's his name?
Tyron.
I'm gonna say something that's gonna piss you guys off on who I want.
Here we go.
You ready for this? And it's not who you think either. A lot of people are saying, "Who do you want, Ezekiel?" No, I don't want Ezekiel Elliott. I think he's kind of past his prime a little bit. I want Dalton Schultz, the tight end, and I'll tell you why. Dalton Schultz, amazing blocker. He was throwing Bosa around on the offensive line, and that's not a joke. And there's video to prove that. All right, so you get him in this offense, tight end is no longer a worry whatsoever. Just my opinion.
I'm curious. I'm on PFF right now because I'm curious what his blocking grades were. Well,
They were pretty decent. But
Jeremy Sprinkle, who's their tight end, was the #1 ranked pass blocker by PFF. I have no idea who the fuck Jeremy Sprinkle is, but he's apparently the best blocking tight end in the league according to PFF.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think they'll give up Dalton Schultz only because of the fact that he just got re-signed this year. So I don't think they'll give him up. But still, like, if you're really that desperate for your defense, which corner, you said it's still kind of a passing league, so you got to have the corners.
Yeah, true.
Interesting. I'm trying to look him up on PFF, and it doesn't look like he's. Hold on. How do you spell his name?
Schultz is Schultz is his last name. First name
Yeah.
Dalton.
It's weird. He's not even coming up here on PFF.
Weird. Give me a second. Are you on PFF.com?
Oh, I got him. He was ranked 62nd actually in blocking,
Really?
according to PFF. Yeah, I mean his overall offensive grade is pretty good. He's a 78. 78, which put him actually at seventh. He's the seventh ranked tight end overall, but his blocking grade was a 67, which is not terrible. It's just like average.
Compared to Gesicki.
Oh, Gesicki. Oh, it's no comparison. Gesicki's blocking grade's rough because he doesn't block.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like the overall grades.
So. Okay.
I don't hear. Okay.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, no, this freaking thing. So Mike Gesicki his blocking grade is a 36. Overall, he's a 68, which puts him.
So he's 10 spots behind Dalton Schultz, is what
Well,
you're telling
68.
me, right?
No, that wasn't his ranking. I mean, that was his the PFF grade was a 68. He's ranked 25th.
25th. Okay. So what is his?
Schultz is
Schultz's
ranked
grade?
7th.
So it's 7th versus 25th, is what you're telling me.
Yeah, the ranking.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's an upgrade in my opinion.
I mean, based on this, Schultz had. I think the other thing to consider too is that Gesicki didn't have a great. This wasn't Gesicki's best year. But as
Had
far
a coach that really didn't believe in giving him the ball either.
oh my gosh, Gesicki was not having a good time. Let's see. So Schultz was on the field for 1,000 snaps compared to Gesicki's 800. That's because Schultz blocks. 420 blocking snaps to Gesicki's 245. Let's see. Oh, let me look up like offensive stats.
Yeah, because Schultz was my fantasy machine. Like I grabbed him and started him as tight end. He always put up numbers for me, decent, like consistent numbers. Is what I was looking at.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, hey, And then what do you do with Gesicki? Do you let him? Do you trade him somewhere so he can go get a deal?
Well, that's another reason why franchising was a smart move. It's still tradable. You know, $10 million is not that like breaking the bank for any team that has money. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you. So receiving wise, Dalton Schultz was rated 77, so that puts him 10th among tight ends. Gesicki was rated 70, which put him at 21st as far as the receiving scores. But stats wise, I'm curious. Schultz had 108 targets. I wonder if I can make this easier because I'm looking at everybody. Bear with me. Okay, so Gesicki's on the Dolphins, right? That's Dolphins. Cowboys are in the NFC. There we go. Okay, that's much better. It's interesting because actually this other tight end, Jeremy Sprinkle's rated better than Gesicki. I mean, he didn't play in nearly as many snaps, but
I don't even know who that is. You keep breaking him up.
Jeremy Sprinkle. He's got a badass name, dude. I'd love to have a dude. If Jeremy Sprinkle comes to Miami, I'm buying that fucking jersey. I want a Sprinkle jersey. So Gesicki. So they had similar number of targets. Schultz had 108. Gesicki had 106. But Schultz ended with 85 receptions to Mike Gesicki 73. So he had a better reception percentage. Schultz also had 897 yards to 780 Gesicki's. And then Schultz had 8 touchdowns to Gesicki's 2. So, I mean, by every metric, Schultz is a much better tight end than Mike Gesicki.
I mean, I like Gesicki. I was really like rooting for him when we drafted him and everything. But now I'm in the mood for like, if we're gonna go all out, let's go all out. That's basically what my whole thought process is.
And then who takes over? So you're talking about trading Byron Jones, yeah? So do you move do you move Nick Needham over, or do you finally give Noah Igbenogany his chance to be a starter?
Both. They can battle it out.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you could flip flop him between the outside and the nickel, right?
Yeah, you can definitely do that. There's some other free agents that are out there that we could sign as depth on the corner position. Remember, and this is what a lot of people forget, what Mike McDaniel told everybody when he was hired, in his press conference. Don't be surprised if the defense takes a step back versus what we do on offense. You know what I mean? Be prepared for it. It's going to happen. And as much as I want to say, yeah, we're going to win the Super Bowl this year, I'm just going to tell you this. One thing is for sure, and this is what I wanted to tell that Kansas City fan that, decided to make my shoes famous, if you want to call it that. And you can tell, Nick, what that guy did. It was, if you didn't
I'll
catch
pull it
earlier.
up.
Yeah, it was funny. I wanted to tell him that, one thing's for sure, our offense is gonna be flying and be in full gear. I don't care if we win the Super Bowl. I just want to get to the playoffs, to be honest. That's what I'm all excited for.
Well, yeah, like they've got to make the playoffs at least, right?
This is the easiest schedule. People don't realize how easy our schedule is. Yeah, you could say both Buffalo games is a loss automatically, but everybody else on that list of teams, we can beat. I know we can beat the Baltimore Ravens. We did it last year. We destroyed them.
Well, the Ravens were also hurt. They were hurt to a certain,
Yeah, but still, I still feel that they're going to have problems. Even when they have a running game, I still don't think it's going to be as great. The other flip side of it is this. Green Bay. Everyone thought Green Bay was an immediate loss. Do you still think Green Bay is an immediate loss?
I don't think they're done, right? I think they're still...
Who are they going to get?
I wouldn't be surprised if they go out and get Jarvis Landry.
Yeah, but... Bro,
Jarvis Landry in Green Bay would be...
He's past his prime, bro.
I mean, you're not wrong.
I mean, here's somebody that they could get. Has OBJ, has he signed with anybody?
No, I don't believe so.
They could sign him. I mean, it'd be a little bit before he comes back healthy, though. But
do you think OBJ's better than, at this point in their careers, that OBJ is better than Jarvis?
Yes.
Okay.
Jarvis kind of proved in Cleveland that he's really slot receiver. Now, granted, that could be part of the system they played, but he didn't really prove anything to me that he could really play on the outside consistently. All right. That's my opinion. Now, I'm not a football expert, but I'm just talking based on what I can see. He also played like he didn't care enough, so maybe he still has stuff left in the tank. He just has to care about it.
I mean, I'm sure if he's playing with, if he's catching balls from Aaron Rodgers, he'd care a little bit more.
Here's the other thing. The Super Bowl, we'll go back to the Super Bowl. OBJ stays healthy and doesn't get injured. I think he was the game MVP.
Yeah.
Who got it? Cooper Kupp got it, right? I think he got it.
Yeah, I mean, Cooper Kupp basically took over the whole game.
Yeah, at the end. But prior to that, they had the momentum with OBJ.
Yeah.
And I think OBJ would have, if he would have continued and stayed healthy and kept that momentum on his side, he would have went home with it instead.
Yeah, or it may have just gone to Stafford at that point, right?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I like Stafford. A lot of people don't think they think he's an average quarterback, but I don't think so.
No way. I'm on. Look, I said it. I have the tweet. I'll go and pin the tweet if I have to. When the Rams made the trade for Matt Stafford, I said that they would win the Super Bowl this year.
I did too. And
I
Rams
knew it instantly. I have text messages to people. My wife's uncle's a Rams fan, and the day I read it, I'm like, wow, congrats on the Super Bowl, dude. Like I knew at that point.
Yeah, the ownership and people inside the building at the Rams office, all the media was like, oh, they're acting like they won the Super Bowl. They did. They literally did, because Stafford has been the most underrated QB that has borderline elite ability. I'm not saying he is elite, but he has that ability to get there.
And
in
the
last
worst
10 years.
franchise, one of the worst franchises in the NFL. That's why he's looked the way he is. Matthew Stafford is one of the most underrated quarterbacks of all time, in my opinion.
Yeah,
And
I
it's
agree
just because he played in Detroit. He played in a poverty franchise that didn't know how to win and didn't know how to build around an elite quarterback. Matthew Stafford, in his prime, I think he's on the way on the descent, right? In his prime, Matthew Stafford was an elite quarterback on a terrible team. In the same way that Phillip Rivers, for many, many years, was an elite quarterback on a really just bad, poorly run team.
Yeah.
Like Phillip Rivers is another one that Phillip Rivers is less looked down on, right? For some reason, everybody still will consider Phillip Rivers elite, but not Matt Stafford. But I guess maybe that's just because like Chargers fans, and I mean they're in LA, and maybe there's some special allure about that over being in Detroit. But
That's true. But here's what I think is the flip side of why that is. Stafford unfortunately had like a year or two where he got injured in Detroit, and that is partially because they never really wanted to build a team around him. They didn't want to build the offensive line like they should have. You know, he had 1 or 2 really good years under. Oh God, it was Mike Caldwell. It was under Mike Caldwell.
Jim Caldwell, you mean?
Jim Caldwell. I'm sorry, Jim Caldwell. That's what I was thinking. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah.
Caldwell had Detroit in proper position to start making the playoffs continuously. I do not know why they let that man leave Detroit. I don't know what happened. But they should have really invested it, spent the money while having Caldwell there, personally.
Absolutely.
Now, going back to Stafford got injured for like back-to-back seasons, I think, after he left. Whereas Phillip Rivers, I can not remember a season where he missed more than a game.
Yeah,
I
mean,
he was consistent. Like he always stayed either. If he missed a game, it'd be like one game out of the blue, and he always put up consistent numbers. That's why he was so elite, because he constantly, you knew he was going to throw for 300 yards. It didn't matter that they were playing the Saints or Tom Brady or whoever it was he was playing. Even when Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons were rocking and rolling at one point, you could guarantee Phillip Rivers was going to make it a shootout.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Phillip Rivers, I still, I mean, availability is the best ability, right? We always talk about that. But I don't know. I've always been very high on Matt Stafford. Just a great quarterback in a really terrible franchise, and I think you hit the nail on the head with Jim Caldwell. It just goes to the failings of that franchise. Very similar to the Dolphins, right? From the owner just not able to get it right, and I'm still amazed Jim Caldwell hasn't landed anywhere else or had great success, because if I'm not mistaken, he's like one of the winningest coaches in Detroit history, or he's at the top or near the top. Just very strange. They've just never been able to put it together, and it's very similar to Miami, and I guess maybe that's why I sympathize with them a little bit, because
People says that because of his health issues, that's why teams don't want to really jump on getting him, I guess.
Who, Matt Stafford?
No, with Caldwell. I don't know why.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why Caldwell wasn't really picked up as a.
Listen, he came to Miami, and I think he was actually in our building, and then I believe then they announced a few weeks later that he was leaving for health reasons or something. I think it was bullshit. I think him
and Flo had problems.
Exactly. I think, and they didn't want to make it.
Man.
Yeah, they didn't want to make a deal out of it, so he kind of quietly walked out, as to not make a scene or something, because I think he actually did interview for a job this offseason, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it was Jacksonville, or no, Bears. I think it was Bears, because everyone thought he had the Bears job. People still don't understand why the Bears went the route they did.
with what do you mean the route that they went?
Who did they get? I think it was like an offensive line or somebody coach.
Oh, the head coach, you mean?
For Bears, yeah.
sorry,
Because everyone
yeah.
thought he had the Bears job in the bag. Let me find out who it is. The Bears coach.
Let's see who gets it first.
Matt Eberflus?
Eberflus? Who the fuck is Matt Eberflus?
Yeah, man, he has that kind of name.
Sheesh.
Let's look at his wiki and see what we know about Matt Eberflus. Okay. Oh wow, he actually was a coach at my hometown in Ohio's University of Toledo.
Interesting.
And you know what's funny? Nagby also coached at University of Toledo, so they have some kind of Toledo partnership, I think.
A Toledo connection.
Yeah, that's exactly where that comes from. He also coached defensive coordinator at Missouri. Okay, Missouri's a SEC school. Okay. Cleveland Brown linebackers coach, Dallas Cowboys linebackers coach, Dallas Cowboys linebackers coach, defensive coordinator of Indianapolis.
Defensive coach, it looks like, for sure.
Yeah. Huh. I don't think this. See, this still. He doesn't have the what's the word I'm looking for? The allure or the resume. That's the word I'm looking for. The resume of a head coach that I think that could, turn around a dying franchise. Caldwell has been to playoff games. He's coached some of the best teams, not just as a head coach, but as offense and defense, coordinator positions and whatnot. I think he was the smarter move. Why they didn't do that, I don't know. There was another team that did that too. I think it was Minnesota, ended up hiring somebody that nobody heard of.
Yes, you're right. And it was like one of the first hirings too.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Like, everyone thinks that, like, some of the fan bases think that our coach was never heard of, but there's so many teams and players and coaches, and I'm talking about players mostly, that's heard of our coach and saying our coach is going to be ridiculous and he's so good and whatnot. So
yeah, it was Kevin O'Connell. He was the offensive coordinator for the Rams. He was only offensive coordinator for a year though.
Yeah, well, so was McDaniel.
And then he was offensive coordinator for the Redskins before that. Weird. You know what's really weird is the Texans' fascination with Josh McCown.
Dude, that was crazy. See, okay.
That's the weirdest thing to me, that they want that guy to be their head coach so bad. And Lovie Smith only became the head coach because of the Brian Flores thing.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's where Flo has like a leg to stand on, because McCown, the only coaching position he's ever held was a high school coach. That's all he's ever coached. Go back and look.
Yeah, I'm looking.
All he was a high school coach, if memory serves me right.
I believe so.
They don't even have his high coaching stuff in here.
Because I think it's all it is high school.
From what I heard on Twitter, it wasn't great.
McCown spent time as a volunteer quarterbacks coach for Marvin Ridge High School in North Carolina. The team's head coach said he just walked into my office one day and asked if he could help out.
It's amazing.
That's fucking hilarious. McCown began helping the Mavericks, blah, blah, blah. Is that it? Okay, no. McCown is an assistant coach at Rusk High School in Texas, where his son plays. So he's an assistant head coach. He's an assistant coach. Not even the assistant head coach. He's just an assistant coach where his son plays. Mm-hmm. And McCown was interviewed for... Yeah, that's it. That's it.
That's what's so ridiculous.
They want that man so bad.
I don't know what it is. I mean,
it's strange.
It is very strange. And the thing is that it's so weird that you went from supposedly the two finalists was McCown and Coach Flo, right? That's what everyone was saying. Oh, it's between these two guys.
Yeah.
And they knew prior to him interviewing that he had the lawsuit. and they decided to go Lovie Smith. And Lovie Smith was ran out of Tampa Bay for a reason.
It was so weird how that all happened. You know, it was because it was 100% because of the lawsuit. It was just It's just so strange, dude.
It is.
This has been one of the weirdest off seasons I can remember. I don't know if you guys can think of another one, but it's been wild.
Besides us, well, not like this type of offseason with the coaching corral, not with that. I would say the weirdest thing was when we decided, everybody we signed last year, we're just going to trade away for nothing.
When we traded away Kyle Van Noy, and
well, we decided to release him. We released Colin Van Noy, and then we decided, we're going to take Shaq Lawson and we're going to trade him to the Texans and pick up McKendrick. God, I can't think of his name, but he was supposed to be a Pro Bowl linebacker, and I was like, great, this guy's an edge linebacker player that we need. He can help us stop the run. He's gonna be amazing, right? We renegotiated his deal. It's like, okay, maybe they're renegotiating to open up cap space, not a big deal. And they ended up dropping him before the offseason, or before training camp was even ended. And I was like, are you serious? He was the only one doing anything on the defensive line during any preseason game I saw. So it was weird. And then
very weird.
Yeah, and then they started going down the line. Everybody they signed, they either let go or traded away. Even our running backs we brought in. I think there's only one player left from that signing period, which was Byron Jones. Is the only person we've kept, I think.
Yeah, it's the team is. This has been the craziest 4-year plan or 3-year plan. I don't even know what to say anymore. Just between the lawsuits and the crazy deals happening, and
But to be 100% honest, this is actually the smartest thing that
is this what it took, right? Getting sued by Brian Flores?
Yeah, because I think it's the best thing that happened. That's what I meant to say, the best thing. Because I'll tell you why. I really feel if we kept on the path we were going with how we sign players, I don't think it would ever result. They did the best thing they could when they decided to let's strip the team down to the bare bones and rebuild up. That's great. But that plan takes a longer period of time to fully work. You would have to go almost 10 years to really get exactly what you want.
Yeah.
Right? So what do you do to speed that process up? Oh shit, we're gonna lose our picks. Let's start trading players, or not players, but picks.
Yep.
And really build a team in a warp speed moment. But what they've been smart about is they've been keeping the cap numbers super friendly, bro. All right. The fact that we got Armstead on the deal that we did, that was a steal. I thought he was gonna get a lot more. You know what I mean? And let's be honest, the Jaguars totally busted the wide receiver market.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, we had to overpay. I don't think we really overpaid. I think Tyreek Hill got exactly what he deserved.
Yeah, there you go.
That's my opinion. But even then, the cap numbers are manageable. So, but I don't know. I think it was the best thing because it really just decided, okay, screw waiting. Let's just put us in full gear. But here's the thing. Even by doing this, we're still in a great position for the following years.
Yeah.
Even if Tua doesn't pan out, we're still in a position to only have to worry about that one position. Instead of a whole bunch of positions.
Yep.
We're really just having to worry about one major position, and just the QB.
Yeah, and we could go out and make a move like the Rams or the Broncos and go out and get a quarterback, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. And we also have 2 first-round picks next year, so
exactly. There's a reason why they're still there.
Yeah.
And I think I don't know if we'll keep them long term, right? I think there's some concern about potentially losing those picks if there's any punishment that comes down for.
So one of the picks is San Francisco's, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's my prediction about those picks, right? I feel like the Dolphins are going to be in the playoffs. I'm not saying we're going to win it all. I'm just going to say we're going to make the playoffs, okay? I'm going to go with that.
Mm-hmm.
San Francisco is in a complete different position. A lot of people say, oh, their team is still great. They got everybody, blah, 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 blah. Here's the flip side of that. They have a new offensive coordinator. Their offensive coordinator does not run the same system that Mike McDaniel did. They also have Trey Lance. You mean to tell me that you draft a quarterback, number 3 overall? I think it was number 3, yeah. And you're not going to start playing him? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You need to play him. And his better suits may not be the same offense that Mike McDaniel ran.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to take a step back. I don't think they're going to get as lucky as they did this past year. I think that they're going to be a 500 team. And that draft pick is going to be a lot higher than what people are expecting.
It very well could be.
As in, like, in favor of us is what I'm trying to say.
Of course, yeah. There's a really good chance that it's going
now
to
when
end
we
up
have
being a
both
high draft
picks. I think the league would take away the Dolphins' number 1 pick, which I would be okay with, because that would be the lower pick.
You don't think they could take away both? I think they could.
I think there's a rule that they can only take the original pick from the team's actual pick. I think there's something in the writing of the rules. I could be wrong about that. But remember what I said about Stephen Ross and putting him in a position that they don't want to hurt their pockets?
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
if they're going to do something, they'll be like, hey, man, which one do you want us to take? Okay, we'll take that one.
Yeah, take the worst. Take the worst one.
Yeah.
I definitely think we're going to be a better team than the 49ers, especially if Garoppolo is shipped away. Which I don't know at this point. It seems like he may just stay with the 49ers. It doesn't seem like there's a market for Jimmy Garoppolo.
Because the problem is he just had surgery. All right, so he had surgery. Teams don't want to necessarily overpay. Technically, and to be 100% honest, the 49ers are not in a rush to trade him. They don't have to until week 6.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it'll
What
be
if
interesting.
Miami goes after him?
I don't think that will happen. We have Teddy Bridgewater here, but if it were, I would be okay with it. I'd be okay with it because he knows Daniel's system. You know what I mean? It's not somebody we're going to have to... to be honest, if we do something like that, I don't think he'll end up being another Jay Cutler. I don't think that will happen.
Well, it depends. Do you think Tua's ceiling is higher than Garoppolo's ceiling?
Yes, I do. I think Tua can be a better... Not just a better passer, but I think he's overall... he's a different style of quarterback. I think he can be a lot more mobile in this offense.
Yeah.
I think we've shown flashes of that, but I understand when you take a really bad hip injury like that, you're still kind of scared to run. And
sure.
and it also takes like 3 years. That's another thing. It takes 3 years to come back from that type of injury, and that's what doctors will tell you.
Yeah.
All right. The fact that he came back that far is a miracle of its own. So I kind of feel like people are a little bit too harsh on him, and I'm not a Tua fan. I can beat that to the horse. I'm not a Tua fan. I'm a Dolphin fan. So I just think that no matter who's on our team, we should support him. You know what I mean?
For sure.
So, but it is what it is. We'll see. I think Tua will surprise us this year. Hopefully.
I agree.
It did take 3 years for Josh Allen to figure it out. Why can't it take Tua 3 years to figure it out?
Yeah, I don't like the talking point too much, and I'll tell you why. Because, yes, Josh Allen did take a couple years to finally become Josh Allen, but he's like the 1%, right? The other 99% of guys that went their first 2 years and they weren't too good, they just kept sucking. So... There's more instances where quarterbacks suck the first 2 years and they just kept sucking than there are Josh Allens. I hope he's a Josh Allen.
I kind of hope he's a Drew Brees personally.
Sure, yeah, I'll take that.
Drew
Well, I
Brees-
mean, I hope he, has struggles a couple years and then becomes a great quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, Drew Brees had the exact same, and it's almost number for number, almost number for
Yeah.
number stats that Tua had in the first 3 years. So we'll see, we'll find out, and we'll see what happens. If I feel I feel that if the team makes the playoffs and Tua doesn't shit the bed and he has a formidable year. I'm not going to say more than 4,000 yards. I'm expecting like 3,800 yards and at least 25 touchdowns. I'll go with that. I think that would be really good. And I feel like maybe I want to no more than 10 interceptions. I want to say anything under than 10 is good. I think that is formidable enough to like say, okay, he can stay around. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like Garoppolo numbers, right?
Yeah, I kind of feel like that would be the case. Now, if he blows it out of the bed and everybody surprised the shit out of everybody, great. That's icing on the cake. I'm for it. Let's go. No, it was not a worry. I really felt even prior to like all the players we got, I felt that this system that McDaniel runs is more about the team rather than a focal point of one player. Like a lot of people build teams like they draft a quarterback first and then they build a team off of that quarterback and the skills that quarterback has. I feel like this system can be ran by any quarterback, so he basically made the stats and the position irrelevant. That's just my opinion.
I agree. And just, for shits and giggles, I pulled up Jimmy Garoppolo's stats. In 2021, he had 3,800 yards, 20 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions. So
almost like what I said. Almost
identical. And that was good enough to get to the conference championship game. So
yeah, and the other thing you think about, the worst part of Tua's game last year is he had problems with those intermediate throws. The yardage of beyond 10 yards and in between 19 yards.
And it's really his second reads, right? It's not even the distance that's the deciding factor. It's when he holds onto the ball for longer than
you fix half of those throws, those intermediate throws, you already have he's already way better than what he was last year. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Now, part of that, we got to give this quarterback a little bit more time to get his, to get the reads, because he was getting less time than more than half the league. I mean, come on.
Yeah, and the other guys that threw it quicker were not throwing it quicker because they had to. They were throwing it quicker because they just could.
Yeah.
Because it was like Tom Brady, I think, had less time to throw. But again, Tom Brady was throwing in less time because Tom Brady just knows where to throw the ball. He's been playing the game long enough that he just knows where the ball needs to go. And
yeah, that guy's like a proven commodity. He knows exactly what to do.
Exactly. Yeah. So, I think Tua's biggest problems, again, when you look at the report, and maybe on the next stream I'll pull up the QB report, the 2021 QB report, but the biggest factor that hurt Tua was trying to get the ball out after his first read. And what that says to me, and some people, I've had this talk with TD Fins Talk, I've had this talk everywhere, and a lot of the guys who are a little less pro Tua will tell you, well, it's because he can't read defenses. And I disagree with that take, because being able to hit to your second read doesn't have anything to do with reading defenses. If anything, being able to hit your first read like so confidently is a better indication that you can in fact read defenses, because you know where to get the ball quickly. And his problem is the second reads, and what that says to me is that he's probably a little bit nervous once he holds on to the ball for longer than a second or two, because he just doesn't trust his offensive line, and how can you blame him? I think having an offensive line that he can depend on, that he can count on, that knows is going to keep him upright for longer than a second or two, I think it's going to give him that confidence to sit in the pocket and not have to force a ball in because, he's worried about getting hit or whatever it is. I think that's where we're going to see the biggest leap for Tua. And again, that's that's going to be where his next step forward is, right? Is improving on those second read throws. If he can improve and hit those second read throws with more consistency, and the other issue that Tua has is his turnover worthy throws on first reads is another one. But that again is him trying to fit the ball into tight windows. And again, I think if things open up for him a little bit, if he has a little bit more time, and if he has a little bit more confidence in his offensive line, I think he's going to take advantage of that, and we're going to see, maybe we see Tuscaloosa Tua. I hope so.
Yeah, I mean, I hope so. I mean, I don't know if you looked at him, what he looked like at the Tua Luau. He did look a lot more stocky. I mean, the guy looked like he put on some weight.
He's a thick boy. He's a thick. Perform knows how to do one thing, and that's how to make guys look big as hell. Because Tua looks thick, and Lim Bowden too. You ever see Lim Bowden? That guy's.
He looks like he's ripped up too. Yeah, he looks ripped too. Here's some news you might want to talk about that I just saw on Twitter. I'm just sorry, I'm tweeting at the same time.
No, that's good.
Kyler Murray not expected to play unless he gets a new contract with the Cardinals.
Yeah, that's that was kind of to be expected. They'll give it to him. Everybody's playing hardball. It is,
It's crazy though. He's still like not even halfway through his current deal, and he wants a new deal.
Yeah, I mean, he had a great year. He had a stellar year. He was really, really, really good. Yeah. I don't know that Kyler Murray. I don't know if you want to get into it, but I'm not big on Kyler Murray.
I'm not big on him too. I'm right there with you.
That style of football that he plays is not sustainable long term, and it's the same way that I feel about Lamar Jackson. Whenever I bring up Lamar Jackson, I always call him Lamar Miller. I'm just triggering.
Miller.
Yeah. Hey, another late round running back. Well, no, Lamar Miller was a third round pick, I think. Anyway, point aside. I think Lamar Jackson is another one of those guys that style of play, while they do it very well, right? Lamar Jackson is very good at what he does. Mm-hmm. It's not at the quarterback position. It's just not sustainable. We've never seen a quarterback that plays that style have a long career. And medicine is getting better, and guys are getting better at protecting their bodies, and the pads are getting better, and the helmets are getting better. But man, it's just we've never seen a quarterback do that, have that play style and have longevity. The ones that have longevity are, your Tom Brady's, your Peyton Manning's, the guys that sit in the pocket, and that's oddly enough, that's kind of how Tua plays too. He is a pocket passer. Those are the guys that have longevity, and I just worry about Kyler Murray, his size. Not that he can't play, because obviously he can play regardless of his size. But when I say his size, I talk about his health getting beat up because the guy he likes to run the ball, and I mean, he's running the ball against some big boys on the other side.
Interesting. Really interesting.
It's I wouldn't pay Kyler Murray. I wouldn't have drafted Kyler Murray. He's great, but I don't think he's going to be. I think he has a chance to be maybe a top 10 quarterback. I don't think he'll ever be a top 5 or a top 3. But I mean, top 10's not bad.
I think Tua is the last hope for that style of quarterbacks. Like Baker Mayfield, Kyler Murray, and Tua. I think they're all like the similar mold in a weird way. I kind of feel like this is the last hurrah. Like if it doesn't work out this year, I think you're gonna start seeing teams move away from that style of QB going forward.
You're going to see like 7-foot quarterbacks moving forward.
Well, I think they're gonna go back to the Peyton Manning style mold. You know what I mean? I think that's what's gonna come down. I mean, there's a kid at Ohio State that I think is probably the best quarterback coming out of Ohio State in a long time. Like I think he's the one to really break the barrier, and that's CJ Stroud. That kid, he makes 60-yard throws look like he's throwing like a balloon. Like it's so light, it's not even funny. And he's always super accurate, and he can run. He does it all. He's not your Lamar Jackson style where he can run and that's what he does. he can do everything like at an elite level.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I've seen him take hard hits and get right back in there and throw a touchdown pass. You know what I'm saying? I've seen it all. So, and every time he plays, he just gets better and better. He reminds me of like a Kobe-esque type player, like Kobe Bryant, how, you know, you win the championship and he wants to become a better champion and just keeps moving forward. That's the style of person he is.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of feel like he's probably going to be, if not the number one pick, he'll probably be the number one QB that comes off the board next year in 2023.
Interesting.
So we were talking about QB corrals and how, you know, you haven't seen that in a while. There's a whole bunch of QBs. 2023 is the year where there's a bunch of QBs that are going to get drafted again.
Yeah.
There's at least 6 of them for sure. So we'll see what happens. I think that will change the mold of the NFL a lot.
So I guess you're not a Kenny Pickett believer? Is that what you're saying?
No. I kind of feel like he's kind of overrated in a sense, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I've been wrong.
He broke some of Dan Marino's records. I mean, school records.
Yeah, but that records
with those Donald Trump hands, little baby hands.
That's true. So, well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Let me ask you guys this question, since we're talking about trades and move around players and stuff. You asked earlier who I would want them to bring in. We're not done. I don't know if this would happen. Like, there's been a lot of rumors that we're interested, and we've kind of it kind of came out that we've had talks with the team, but there's a rumor flying around, and it's come from reputable sources that they're working on something that's going to break the internet. Tyreek Hill kind of was that, but I don't feel like it was that big to where it broke the internet. It just broke the Jets personally, the Jets fan base. But some of the other players we've signed, it's not like the breaking, move. What do you guys think about if we were to trade for a Deebo Samuels? How do you feel about that?
I mean, that does feel like the break the internet trade, right?
What if it included Jalen Waddle, though?
Yeah, you brought this up the other day. I don't know about giving up Jalen Waddle for it. I think Jalen Waddle's better than Deebo. I know a lot of people don't agree with me.
Better than Deebo?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Value-wise, I think we talked about this, right, on the Fins Tailgate. Better value, right? Dollars per cube, or dollars per output. If that makes sense, right?
Let's look at it this way. Let's look at it this way. I think Deebo is still on his rookie deal, right?
He doesn't want to be on it, but yeah.
I understand. He's still on his rookie deal. What was his stats last year? Can you look at the PFF scores?
Yeah.
Because I brought that up to somebody that I think Deebo had like 1,500 yards altogether.
I do know he was one of the top-rated wide receivers by PFF, but let me pull it up. I think he's like third, or he's definitely top 5.
He also plays running back too.
He doesn't want to play running back though.
We understand. I don't want to say he doesn't want to, because everybody wants to be on the field and they want the ball the quickest way possible. If it ends up being running back or it ends up being wide receiver, I don't think he really cares. There's rumors that from the 49ers fan base, they're trying to say that he wants $23 million a season or more, but I don't know if that's actually accurate. If you're gonna get paid, I guess I guess everybody's getting $23 million a season because of what the Jaguars did. Printed money, honestly.
Basically. So I have Deebo's stats here. So, excuse me, his PFF ranking was 90, which puts him at fifth overall, behind Cooper Kupp, Devontae Adams, Justin Jefferson, and AJ Brown. His receiving grade. Hold on. His receiving grade, puts him at 5th. So he had 1,500 yards receiving, which was 5th. Only 7 touchdowns, actually, which, everybody around him, right? Like Tyreek Hill had 12. Justin Jefferson had 10. Devontae Adams had 11.
How many did have? Waddle have?
Waddle. Jalen Waddle had 6 touchdowns.
Okay, and he had 1,000 yards, something like that?
Waddle had 1,015 yards.
Okay, all right. Well, I understand your
on more receptions. By the way, Debo had
less receptions.
Yeah, Debo had 87 receptions to Waddle's 100 something.
How many targets does it tell you?
I got targets too. So Waddle had 104 receptions on 138 targets. Debo, where'd he go? Debo had 87 receptions on 128 targets. So Debo had a lot of drops, apparently, or just a lot of missed target, because they had a similar number of targets, but Waddle had more receptions and one less touchdown than Debo, interestingly enough.
Let me ask you this. Would you accept a deal, let's say it didn't have Waddle, but it had Byron Jones and first round pick or something?
I don't know, because let's be fair here.
Okay.
We're making our offense better while making our defense worse.
Again, McDaniel said that don't be surprised if the defense takes a step back.
But isn't that okay? We've made our offense up until now. We've made our offense better without making our defense worse. Arguably, because we don't know how the defensive play calling is going to be.
Okay, well,
but
here's another question.
Talent-wise.
Here's another question, and I have to ask why. Why? And the reason I'm bringing these up is because there's too many signs and moves that suggest that another big move is coming, and I'll tell you why. One, for this current draft class, we only need $1.5 million. We don't need 20-some million. Okay. Why did we restructure Byron Jones if we didn't need to at the time that we did?
I mean, you could say that they didn't need to, but
we absolutely didn't need to. We were within the range that the league requires.
I mean, they may. What if from their perspective they just want to keep Byron Jones happy to, stick around?
He's making the same amount of money. They look at it this way: he's not getting any more money.
Didn't he get more guaranteed money out of the restructure?
No, all they did is they made it a signing bonus and opened up cap space.
Oh yeah. So when you make it a signing bonus, you get that money up front.
Well, yeah, but he was going to get that money no matter what, regardless.
Eventually, yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? He's not making anything more or less. What I'm trying to say is that the move that they did with that suggests that one of two things is happening. Either they're making cap room for another addition, or making him easier to be expendable if needed.
And more palatable in a trade.
Yeah, and the rumors were flying prior to all the additions we made that there was no way we were going to keep both top tier corners that we have. One of them was going to go. Everyone thought it was going to be Howard. All right. I'm not saying that we need to trade Byron Jones. What I am going to tell you is that I want to keep both of them if possible. But if it means changing the scales and making the offense crazy, ridiculously loaded, it's something to think about. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, I won't discredit it. This has been a crazy offseason, so I don't I won't discredit anything. I wouldn't even discredit a trade that involves Jalen Waddle at this point. I think
Anything
anything's
is
possible.
Yeah. I
Um,
mean, no one thought we would have Tyreek Hill, and look at us. We have Tyreek Hill.
yeah. We're never the team that gets the Tyreek Hill, right? It's always everybody else. It's never
Everybody
Miami.
trades
So
for the big players, never us.
yeah. Well, and the good big name players, right? Not like the overpaying Ndamukong Suhs or. It was funny because I was saying the other day, Melvin Ingram is the guy that we would have brought in on like day one of free agency and overpaid. That would have been the Dolphins' move, right? So it's interesting to see us finally like making moves that make sense instead of these odd like moves that appear to be big splashes that are just not.
Yeah, that just shows you what Chris Greer does. He promised he's never going to put us in a position that's going to hurt the team in the long run. That Sue deal that we had, that hurt us for several years.
That's bad.
Part of the reason why we eventually, when he came aboard, well, I'm saying when he came because he was there, behind the scenes, but when he officially got the reign of the GM, like I'm the full-time GM, no matter what, no one else is above me.
Yeah.
That's when he said we need to strip this team all the way down naked and then rebuild everything.
Yeah, from the ground up.
That was the smartest thing he ever did. Now, the flip side of it is that you get Hill. Let's say we keep Jalen Waddle, and you get Debo. Let's say Debo. It could be another player. It could be a different target. But we're just going with Debo because
could be.
I think signs are pointing that way.
Yeah. So I not to interrupt you, but I think the only like internet breaking trades that seem internet breaking to me that have been rumored would be Debo or Tom Brady. Those are the only internet breakers that I could see.
Tom Brady. I'm so sick of that.
I know, but being fair, being honest, I don't know anybody else that sounds like breaking the internet, like JC Jackson or no JC Treader wouldn't break the internet. Like Tyrann Mathieu wouldn't break the internet.
But we're talking about trades, like a player that's on another team.
True.
Like who else out there? Like DK Metcalf, that would be a good addition, but I don't know if that would really fit our offense, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, Lamar Jackson kind of would be
Lamar Jackson would break the internet.
Yeah, that would be a breaking move. But I kind of...
Kyler Murray would be break the internet.
Yeah, I feel like if a Debo trade's going to happen, though, it's going to happen between now and week 6. Yeah. People are trying to say, no, it's not going to happen until next year. Well, why would 49ers do that? Because the 49ers would end up losing money. That's the last year of his contract. When that happens, when you're in the last year of a contract, all the teams start lowballing you.
Exactly.
All of them did. So
yeah, because now they're going to have to go and overpay him. They're give him a new deal.
Yeah, if they're going to cash out, it's going to be now. Another player that we were in talks with that was actually closer than what people think, Davante Adams. People don't know this, but when he got traded prior to that, there was like behind the scenes people tweeting that the Dolphins were included in that, and it came out we were actually in talks, but they just wanted way too much than what we were willing to give at the time.
Well, I think the Tyreek Hill trade is way better.
Oh yeah, I think it was a better overall deal. I mean, who would you rather have though? Would you rather have Davante Adams or would you rather have Tyreek Hill?
I kind of would maybe give a slight edge to Davante Adams, just because he's, I think, a little bit more complimentary.
I think he
to
can
Jalen
do the
Waddle.
Things. Yeah, I kind of agree with that because the fact is that Tyreek Hill is amazing as it is, and he can do the intermediate throw catches and stuff like that. But I think that Davante Adams slightly does everything very well. You know what I mean? It's not just like one or two different types of catches. He does it all.
Maybe, yeah, you could probably say he's like more of a complete wide receiver, maybe. Maybe that's fair.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing is that Tyreek Hill actually is more of an H-back. He's not really a wide receiver.
Yeah.
He's like the original Debo. Like, he can play. He actually played running back, I think, in college. So that is, maybe Tyreek Hill was the better move because he fits multiple positions.
Yeah,
It's
and
just like,
again, maybe he fits the scheme a little bit better, like that we're trying to do. He could be again the Debo Samuel of this offense. I'm kind of excited to see what Lynn Bowden does, if he does anything this year. But yeah, I mean,
we'll see.
another one, and I'll say this last comment, and then we'll get like last comments of the night. But I think Noah I is going to be a surprise if Byron Jones is moved, and Noah I does get a larger role in this defense. I think he's gonna show that he was not a bust, and I believe that because I think Flores was doing what Bill Belichick has historically done with defensive players, and he just kind of stashes them. So he keeps him around, but he never really puts him out there to be big flashy plays, because when the number one guy leaves, like in this case our Byron Jones, out of nowhere this Noah Igbenogany just steps in and fills in that role perfectly, and we're paying him nothing. That's the Bill Belichick method, and I think that's what Flores was doing with Noah I. There's literally no evidence to support this. That is my disclaimer to this. There's no evidence to support this, but I think that could be the case. And if it is,
support your theory. I think if Byron Jones is moved, you can guarantee, if it happens before the draft, you can guarantee the third round pick is going to be a defensive player, primarily corner.
Yeah.
And there's a guy from Clemson that I think we could go after.
Interesting. Love it. Hey, great talking. You have anything else you want to say before we call it a night?
There was something else I was going to mention to you, but no, I think that's about it. I really appreciate debating stuff with you and talking stuff out.
For sure, dude.
Yeah,
We got to get some more people on the panel. Try to reach out to some of the...
let me know in advance when you're thinking about going on, like maybe the day prior or whatever.
Yeah. Well, I think what we're going to
advertise it out, or at least tell people.
Yeah, I think I want to kind of talk about it in the Discord and get everybody's opinions. Because I'd like to have more people on. I think there's more people in the Discord that would want to be involved, and maybe the time or the day doesn't work. But like currently the schedule is like Tuesdays and Thursdays for sure. I don't have a set time, but again, I'd maybe we could talk about doing a set time, because I want to do these panels regularly. And I think we got a lot of people in the Discord that I know are good. They have great takes. Exhale's one of them. He's, Tuesdays and Thursdays are kind of rough for him sometimes too. So like, I want to have talks about when's a better time maybe, and then we can adjust accordingly. But for right now, it's Tuesdays and Thursdays for sure.
Yeah,
trying to
like
stick
Tuesdays,
to that.
Tuesdays I tend to follow Mike on the Mic a lot.
Yeah.
So that I could maybe juggle both.
Man, those jerks are on every day. Forget those.
No,
I'm
okay,
joking.
I'm not trying to. I like them all. Don't get me wrong, but
No, you
Mike,
gotta-
Mike is actually a personal friend, so I.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know.
Yeah, so.
No, that's good. I love everybody at the Finn's Tailgate. Those guys are awesome. I love like going on, like on Tuesday I was streaming here and chatting with them. So I liked it's fun because I get to kind of do my thing, and then I still get to chop it up with those guys that are a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah,
yeah.
I actually that reminded me. I was gonna tell you that if you're gonna do it on Twitch, man. Till take that market. There's like no market right now.
Exactly, and nobody's on Twitch. I mean, there's some guys on Twitch, but not a lot of Dolphins guys. So that's where I think
it's because they're not aware, and that's what I was talking about. I need to get the word out.
Yeah, probably it's probably that just nobody knows, and it's really impossible to discover people on Discord on Twitch. Sorry, the discoverability is terrible. But and that's again the other thing that I'm doing that nobody else is really doing in the Dolphins community, is the Discord, and I think the Discord is a really cool concept for fans, like a fan base like this. Just got to get some more people in, but we're growing really pretty quickly actually. I've been putting a lot of feelers out there, and I'm going to be talking to the mods about ways that we can build up the Discord. But I think I'm trying to do things a little bit differently, and it may fail and it may blow up in my face, but whatever. I don't care. I'm doing this for fun. I'm not really here to make money off people or anything. It's evening,
I'm
and
not really trying to like make money. I mean, if it ever gets down the road where I'm that big, then yeah, maybe. But I'm just.
Okay. I have
I'm
a
just trying
job.
to
I'm
have
good.
fun.
I'm
Yeah.
here and I'm having fun, and hey, at least it's either this or we're listening to ESPN and how they're talking about the top 5 greatest moves in this offseason, or the
It's so
top 5
boring.
biggest moves in the offseason, and number 3 is Tyreek Hill leaving Kansas City and not landing in Miami. That infuriated me to no end. How instead of saying the biggest move was the Dolphins trading for Tyreek Hill, no, it was Tyreek Hill leaving the Chiefs. Oh my gosh, that's just like so. And it just epitomized how the media thinks of the Dolphins. It's just they don't care about the Dolphins. We don't generate clicks for them. So, but you know what? I guess I don't mind that. That's why we have these platforms to kind of.
I honestly don't want to be on the media at all. I want everyone to be quiet about my team. So when we play them, the media can brag about, man, did you see those Dolphins? They know what they're doing.
Yeah, not bad. All right, hey Nick, you there? Or you fall asleep? It's probably grading papers. Yeah, Nick's out. Nick's done. All right, buddy. I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody that swung by. MCJB. It was a good talk. We had a good talk.
Definitely. Till the next time, my friend.
Yeah, we'll catch you. Thanks.
Have a good night.
Yep, same. All right. Let me leave the call here. All right. It's a good talk. Thanks for everybody that stopped by. Ali, MCJB, Nick. Had a lot of fun. I think there's a lot of good stuff happening, a lot of good talk, a lot of good conversation. It's just, it feels like a good time to be a Dolphins fan again. So, let's enjoy it. Let's enjoy it while we can. Appreciate everybody that stopped by again, and